Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. This is a proper Super Sunday matchup as the Liverpool return home to Anfield after the international break to host Enzo Maresca's Chelsea side. Liverpool have started superbly under new manager Arne Slot with the 9 wins from their opening 10 in all competitions. Just one defeat in those 10, and that was at home to Forest in game week 4. But they will be looking to stay top of the pile in the table with 3 points this afternoon after Manchester City's late win at Wolves have put them back into first position. The visitors, Chelsea, haven't started badly at all under the new manager Enzo Maresca. 4 wins from their opening 7 in the league, with a current run of a 6 unbeaten in the Premier League after losing their opening game at home to Manchester City. Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 9 against Chelsea, which includes their League Cup triumph against the Blues last season at Wembley. A 118th minute Van Dijk header was the difference that day in late February. Just one win from their last 12 against Liverpool for Chelsea, and that win came here at Anfield back in March 2021. So for the 198th meeting between these two sides, who have got a combined 25 top-flight titles between them, will it be Liverpool to continue the domination of this fixture, or can Chelsea finally get one back over the Reds after years of waiting? We've already had a very dramatic start to this weekend's Super Sunday as Premier League action returns after the international break, and Wolves went ahead early against Manchester City, and they seem to have defended really well. But as you know, 4 in a row Premier League champions can do, Manchester City were able to turn it around right towards the end with that John Stones goal. A little bit of controversy with the fact that when he had the header from the corner, Bernardo Silva was stood in an offside position, but the referees deemed that Bernardo Silva wasn't in the eye line over the goalkeeper, so the goal did stand, causing a little bit of controversy online. But for me, personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with the goal. Obviously, Bernardo Silva is offside, but when John Stones makes connection with that header, Bernardo Silva is nowhere near the goalkeeper's eye line. Jose Sarr, who was in net for Wolves this afternoon, was set. Like I said, I'm a goalkeeper myself. He made that step where he set himself, and it was a brilliant header from John Stones. And of course, Bernardo Silva's had a slight impact just being there, but once that header's been put on target by John Stones, I think Bernardo Silva's well out of the way. And for me, I think the goal has rightly stood. Of course, other teams, like maybe Arsenal fans, even Wolves fans, might disagree, but it did lead to a very spicy end to that game. Both benches absolutely fuming. Obviously Wolves wanting it to be disallowed, Manchester City wanting the goal to stand, and in the end it stood. And it does leave Wolves at the bottom of the table due to goal difference. They've got just 1 point from their opening 8 games. It's a worrying start for Wolves. I know that they, lost Pedro Neto and lost captain Kilman, but the squad isn't that bad. I know they've had a difficult start to the season with fixtures, but they played 8 games. They've nearly played half the teams already, and 1 point, no wins so far. It is certainly a big worry for Wolves, and possibly Gary O'Neill might be under a little bit of pressure. But that game, holds big significance in terms of this one as well, because of course Manchester City's late win put them back on top of the table. If they drew, then Liverpool would have stayed top on goal difference, because Liverpool's goal difference is currently plus 11. They've scored 13 and only conceded twice. One of them to Wolves away from home when they beat Wolves 2-1 2 games ago, and then the other goal they conceded was in that 1-0 home defeat to Nottingham Forest back in game week 4. But I think this is going to be a really good game. They had 2 really close encounters last season, these two, when they met at Stamford Bridge on the opening weekend of the season for last season. That ended 1-1. Diaz opened up the scorer, and then Disasi got an equaliser before half-time. And then when they met at Anfield here last season at the end of January, it was a 4-1 win for Liverpool. And then just under a month later, they met again at Wembley in the League Cup final. That was a very even game. And then when the Liverpool youngsters came on, the game changed and they won it late in extra time there, Liverpool. But it wasn't like Chelsea didn't have chances in that game. You know, Chelsea had 19 shots, 11 on target, compared to Liverpool's 23 shots and 11 on target. So it's not like they were completely dominated in that game, Chelsea. And they'll probably feel like, you know, they probably should have gone on and won that League Cup under Mauricio Pochettino, who of course has moved on now and is manager of the United States football team. But now they've got Enzo Maresca in charge, who's got 2 wins out of 2 against Liverpool at under-21s level when he was the under-21s manager for Manchester City back in the 2020-2021 season. His Manchester City side took on Liverpool twice and he won both of them at home 3-2 in April 2021, and he also beat them away at Melwood Training Ground where the Liverpool youth side play their home games, and Manchester City won that 7-2 back in November 2020, but it's now taking on the senior side here, Enzo Maresca. And again, because I'm pretty sure he came here with his Leicester side in the League Cup last season, and they were beaten that day, of course, because Liverpool went on and won the League Cup last season. And it is all that they won in their final season under Jurgen Klopp, after not being able to get beyond Atalanta in the Europa League quarter-final. And they're also beaten in the FA Cup quarter-final as well by Manchester United at Old Trafford in that 4-3 thriller, as both sets of starting 11s are led out onto the pitch by today's referee John Brooks, 34 years of age, and they are led out by both captains of Virgil van Dijk and a returning Reece James, who's making his first appearance of the season. He's having to nurse another hamstring injury and he's returning straight into the starting 11 at probably one of Chelsea's biggest games of the season, all season. We know how difficult it is to come to Chelsea, to come to Liverpool. You know, not just Chelsea, any team struggle to come here at times. And, you know, Chelsea's last win in this fixture did come at Anfield, a 1-0 win back in March 2021. But it is definitely time for Chelsea to step up again. And this will be a real, you know, I think this will be quite a defining win in the Maresca reign if they can get 3 points here. I know it's early on, but, you know, this would really show that Chelsea do mean business this season. You know, they finished 6th last season after a really good run at the back end of the season. But we'll go through both starting 11s really quickly, as it is Kevin Kelleher to go in goal, as Alisson is currently out with a hamstring injury himself. He's expected to return after the November international break. Back 4 of Alexander-Arnold, Ibrahima Konate, who's making his 100th Liverpool appearance, next to Van Dijk, who's making appearance 280 for the club, and at left back is Andy Robertson. 3 midfield of Ryan Gravenberch, who's had an unbelievable start to the season in that midfield, but yet to score so far. He'll play alongside Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones, with 3 up front, former Chelsea man Mohamed Salah, who scored twice in his 19 appearances for the Blues. On the left is Cody Gakpo, who's making his 90th appearance for Liverpool. And up front, leading the line, he's got 2 so far in the Premier League, 1 in the first game against Ipswich and 1 in the last against Crystal Palace, and that is their number 20, Diogo Jota. And then in goal for Chelsea, as they make 3 changes from that last lineup, which was a draw at home to Forest before the international break. It is Robert Sanchez in goal, a returning Reece James, who makes his 10th appearance against Liverpool today. Never scored against them and was sent off once here in the 21-22 season. Alongside him is going to be at left back Malo Gusto, 2 centre-halves of Levi Colwill and Tosin Adarabioyo, who is signed on a free from Fulham in the summer. 2 older midfielders, Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, who's making just his 5th Chelsea appearance since joining the club last summer. 3 behind the striker on the right is Noni Madueke, who's been involved with the England senior team in the last 2 international breaks. On the left is Jadon Sancho, who's not played for England since October 2021. And behind the striker will be Cole Palmer, who's never scored against Liverpool in his senior career. And up front, leading the line, then number 15, Nicholas Jackson, who's got 4 goals so far this season, scoring once against Wolves and Crystal Palace, and then a brace away at West Ham just less than a month ago. So they are the 2 starting 11s, and it's Reece James communicating in the Chelsea team huddle before kick-off here. As the first half will be getting underway very shortly. As for today's game, it is Arne Slot against Enzo Maresca. The last time when Lavia played this season, it was against Manchester City. It was, and that's his only ever start for Chelsea. That start at the start of this season against Manchester City. This is just his second start for the club. As we are having it's either going to be a minute's silence or a pause here just before kick-off at Anfield this afternoon. Not exactly sure who it's for, because of course we have had the passing of George Baldock during the international break that is just gone. So I'm assuming it might be for him, but then again, not too sure if there's been any other passings or if it's any any link possibly to the Hillsborough disaster. Is it the anniversary? If it is, I should know that. No, it's not quite sure what the pause is for. Do apologise for that. But as soon as the referee's whistle is blown to end the pause, we'll get action underway here at Anfield. As for Chelsea, they have won just one of their last 9 Premier League away games here, drawing 5 and losing 3 of the others. And again, for Liverpool, they are unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League games against Chelsea. Winning just 1 though. The other 5 were draws. As within 90-minute games, we had 4 0-0s in a row in this fixture from February 2022 to April 2023. Remember, some of those 0-0s go into penalties in the FA Cup and League Cup final. It's going to be Chelsea to kick off here, kicking left to right. It will be Liverpool right to left. So it will be Chelsea attacking the Kop end in this first half as both sets of players take the knee, as this is one of the designated Premier League weekends to commemorate the No Room for Racism campaign as Cole Palmer gets us underway here in Anfield. It goes all the way back to Robert Sanchez, who fires it long for Chelsea, up towards Nicholas Jackson, who's battling with Van Dijk. Van Dijk gets the touch, it drops here to Gravenberch, who lifts it into the centre circle for Gakpo, brought down by Reece James. It's going to be an early free kick right on that halfway line for Liverpool, as we are underway here at Anfield, who holds over 61,000 supporters. I think Van Dijk went for an early ball into behind the Chelsea defence there for Jota, but didn't make the run in the end. Liverpool's number 20, and it will be Chelsea to have the ball at the back with number 6 Levi Colwill, who featured 3 times for England in the last 2 international breaks under Lee Carsley. Just 21 years of age, Levi Colwill, 40th appearance for Chelsea. He's had 2 loan spells away from the club when he was coming through into professional football, going to the likes of Huddersfield and Brighton as well. As Caicedo this time brought down on the halfway line by Gravenberch, right on this near side towards the 2 technical areas. And this time it's a Chelsea free kick taken quickly by Reece James, going to the right centre-back here of Tosin Adarabioyo. And that's how you pronounce it. The Premier League have posted a pronunciation video this season of literally pretty much every single Premier League player pronouncing their names, and I was having a look at it last night and trying to get him right, because whilst he was at Fulham, he told commentators just to call him Tosin because they were having such trouble pronouncing his last name, as he's given it away here, Adarabioyo, and it's now with Gakpo midway inside the Chelsea half. They've worked it back to the halfway line to Canate. So I was listening to it last night and I think I've got it. Adarabioyo, that's how you say it. The former Fulham centre-back who came through the Manchester City Academy, joined on a free from Fulham this season after the expiration of his contract. As it's still Chelsea on the ball in their 18-yard box here with Colwill. Goes to the edge of the area to Lavia, turns nicely away from Jota, then out to the right to Palmer, who's just drifted to this near side, right on the halfway line. One-on-one with Curtis Jones. Goes back to Reece James to keep possession. And it's a positive start for Chelsea, who are having the majority of the ball early on, as they are currently 7 unbeaten in all competitions. Chelsea not lost in the Premier League since the first game of the season at home to Manchester City, as Madueke gets a lifted ball and he brings it down one-on-one with Robertson in the final third in that right wing position, slowing it down and going back to James and then back forward to Madueke again. It's now Reece James He's going to go for an early cross into the box. Canate can head away, and it can be kept in by Gakpo in a left-back position. Plays it to the left-back Robertson, who returns it to Gakpo, but it goes behind him. And it's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea in the final third on this near side. Adarabioyo goes back to Robert Sanchez, who's Chelsea's number one. There was talks of him possibly being replaced as the number one this season as their new manager came in, Enzo Maresca, but they've stuck with the Spaniard who came over to England in 2013, the 26-year-old, has an over-the-top through ball looking for the run of Gusto in a striker position there, the left-back, can't quite get there ahead of Van Dijk. Curtis Jones, brilliant feet to skip away from Cole Palmer, plays it forward here to Jota, just inside the Chelsea half, in the central area, outside of the boot, pass out wide right to Salah, 25 yards out, tries to replay it back through for Jota. They're asking for handball on the edge of the box, nothing given by the referee, John Brooks. And we're just less than 4 minutes in here. And it is Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. No huge chances early on here. As Reece James kicks the ball out of play here, as Moises Caicedo just struggling with a leg problem. Yeah, Petrovic did say that, but he's currently on loan at is it Strasbourg, the other club that Todd Bowley's involved in. Let's have a look. As Salah was looking for the run of Jota, it definitely came off the hand of Colwill, who was outside the box, and then it deflected off Lavia, but that hit, I think it looked like it hit just the bottom of his stomach. So, and he was in the box, so no handball there, but there definitely was on Colwill. Definitely a clear shout there for Liverpool for possibly wanting the free kick on the edge of the boxes. Caicedo was struggling after he was trying to win the ball off Jones, who went on a nice little run forward as he took on Palmer last to then play it through for Jota. Just looks like he's slightly struggling there, Moises Caicedo, who did play every minute in that League Cup final in the last meeting between these two, signed last season for £115 million from Brighton. The Ecuadorian, who made his 50th appearance for his country in the last international break just gone against Uruguay in what I believe was a 0-0 draw. Just over 5 minutes in, we're back underway here. Chelsea have been giving the ball back after kicking it out to try and see if Caicedo needed any treatment, and Caicedo was the one to give it away. Pass deflect straight to Van Dijk on the halfway, forward to Jota, pass one, but can't get away from Reece James. Brilliant tackle from the right back, and Lavia has quick feet to get away from Szoboszlai. And Chelsea can look to break here. On the far side, it's Jadon Sancho's first involvement in the game. Gusto making a run from left back. He's been found by Sancho. Gusto still has it, and he returns it back to Lavia in the middle of the park, midway side the Liverpool half. Goes towards the right-hand side here, laid off by James to find Palmer, who's very deep on the ball here, Chelsea's number 20. And it's now with Adarabioyo on the halfway line. Colwill out to the left-back, well, the left-back area, and it's now Sancho to drive forward with it into the box. Wants it on his right foot, tackled by Gravenberch, cleared by Salah. Looking for Jota, who's been pulled to the ground there by Adarabioyo. And what card is this going to be? It's going to be yellow. Slightly different to Saliba's, because Tosin Adarabioyo certainly had defensive cover around him there. Just a bit of a, I wouldn't say a hopeful ball, it was definitely directed. It was just put into space by Salah, and just as he was entering the Chelsea half there, Diogo Jota was pulled to the ground. Certainly a free kick and a yellow card. But Levi Colwill was right next to both of them. So definitely wasn't a clear and obvious, goal scoring opportunity there for Diogo Jota. Not scored in his last 8 appearances for Portugal. Jota, which obviously includes the couple of appearances he made in the international break just gone. So a bit of a pause here as Diogo Jota just needs a little bit of treatment here. He's got 4 goals in all competitions this season, the Portuguese international, scoring a brace in the League Cup against West Ham and then 2 in the Premier League against Ipswich and Palace. Scored the only goal in that win away at Crystal Palace. Jota, in the 9th minute, he scored that goal and they were able to see it through. Currently keeping Darwin Núñez out of the starting 11 at the moment. Jota. Again, it was just as they were falling to the ground, Adarabioyo just landed on Jota's chest with his knee, and Adarabioyo is 6'5", so it's it's not the greatest of bodies to be landing on you, that's for sure. So it definitely would have caused Jota a little bit of pain there. Hopefully it's just nothing too serious. Hopefully it's nothing, on his ribs, because that's never nice, a broken rib. As Arne Slot in conversation here, and he's having to look at making a possible change, and it does look like possibly here Darwin Núñez is going to be introduced early into this game. So hopefully it's nothing serious there for Diogo Jota. Possibly a rib problem, or maybe arm. He was also holding his arm, but he was definitely landed on his chest, maybe the rib area. So Jota just off to the far side, off the pitch at the moment. There's no guarantees coming off. You might just try and run it off if possible. As we restart the game, Liverpool have gone back to their goalkeeper, Kevin Kelleher, who has played both of those League Cup final wins against Chelsea last season, and then the one a couple of seasons ago, which went to a penalty shootout, as Gakpo is being looked for down the left wing. He's been dealt with by Reece James, brilliant defending by the Chelsea captain, turning away from the Dutchman, and it's now back with Robert Sanchez in the 18-yard box, onto his right foot, clearing the ball away down the Chelsea right, controlled by Madueke, just away from him, allows Robertson to get in there and take the ball off him, and it's now Liverpool in possession as Jota's back on the pitch and back on the ball here on the far side. He's got Salah to his right, who's in the final third. Here is Salah. Gusto goes across. Salah running at him. Onto his left foot. In the box. Beyond Lavia as well. Tries the cross. It's blocked by Lavia. In the end drops to Palmer. Overruns it. Tackled by Jones. Szoboszlai knocks it back to the halfway line to Van Dijk. And Liverpool have it back again. 9.5 minutes in here at Anfield. Still goalless. No real big chances so far. As it's Chelsea with everyone behind the ball, as it's Ibrahima Konate with it. 100 Liverpool appearances now for the Frenchman. Never scored or lost against Chelsea in his career, the Paris-born centre-back. As it's with Van Dijk into Jones. It's now to the left-back Robertson, just inside his own half here. Goes back into Van Dijk, who was sent off in the international break against Hungary. That's Szoboszlai's team, who he captains, Dominik Szoboszlai. Just one appearance away from 50 for Hungary. Dominik Szoboszlai, who scored twice against Bosnia in the international break. And he also got engaged on Wednesday. Dominik Szoboszlai, his last Premier League goal as well, came against Chelsea for Szoboszlai back on the 31st of January. As it's still Liverpool on the ball, in their own half, on the edge of the box here with Van Dijk. Got Palmer stood in front of him, and he plays it to his right here to the Irish international Kevin Kelleher, who's played every minute of the international break so far this season for Ireland, as he sends a ball in behind for Salah, overhit, and it will roll out for a Chelsea goal kick. Robert Sanchez in a turquoise blue goalkeeper kit, and Kevin Kelleher in an all black jersey, as he's in for Alisson tonight, as he is making appearance number 50 for Liverpool. 16 clean sheets in those previous 49 games, as Colwill gives it away straight to Alexander-Arnold. Ball into the box, overhit again, straight into the gloves of Sanchez, who just slows the game down. No obvious pass on for him. As for Chelsea, as I was mentioning before, they had a great end to the season, won their last 5 Premier League games in a row, beating the likes of Spurs, West Ham, Forest, Brighton, Bournemouth, and they only lost one of their last 15, and that was away 5-0 to Arsenal towards the end of April when they were without Cole Palmer. He was ill that day. And then decided to part ways with Pochettino. Sanchez goes long and in behind, down the left wing for Sancho in the box. He's been found here. 1-on-1 with Alexander-Arnold. Plays it to the edge of the area to Gusto, who leans back and with his weaker left foot spoons it over the crossbar. It was an attempted cross there by Malo Gusto, who is frustrated with himself. As that's a brilliant long diagonal ball there by Robert Sanchez. And Sancho did well there to get ahead of Alexander-Arnold and played it back for Gusto. He was not really under much pressure to put that ball in the box. No, it's on his weaker side for the Frenchman. But bit of a waste as Van Dijk from the goal kick goes long and in behind the defence for Gakpo to chase into the 18-yard box. Colwill deals with it, goes back to Sanchez, who then lifts it back through to Colwill. A difficult one for the number 6 to deal with as his first clearance deflects back to him off Gakpo. And the second clearance deflects again off Gakpo, but away from goal, but headed forward by Alexander-Arnold, hooked away by Gusto, held up by Jackson on the far side. He can get around Konate, actually kicks it off Konate, and it just trickles out of play for a throw-in Chelsea ball. Despite not having any real clear-cut chances so far, it's been a rather entertaining 13 minutes. Both sides are very much in this game to start off. Sancho. Sancho again on that left wing, just on the halfway line. Goes back into the right here, to the right centre-back of Tosin Adarabioyo. 27 years of age now, the centre-half. Spent 17 years of the start of his career coming through at Manchester City. It's now with Cole Palmer on the right wing, bursting into that final third. He's got Curtis Jones in front of him. Plays it back to the captain, Reece James, whose last Premier League appearance was a red card against Brighton away from home at the end of last season. And then he injured his hamstring again during pre-season. But he's back now, hoping to stay fit as Madueke goes around Robertson on the byline, cuts it back. Caicedo chips it to the far post, header away by Alexander-Arnold, headed back in by Lavia. Another header by Alexander-Arnold, played inside by Salah. Quick 1-2 with Szoboszlai, just poked away from Salah by Lavia. Throw in for Liverpool. Not a bad little bit of build-up there by Chelsea on the right-hand side. Positive play by Noni Madueke to go around Robertson and take on the Scotsman, who is involved for Scotland, of course, in the last two international breaks in September and October. Andy Robertson taking on Liverpool for the 22nd time. Robertson, now 30 years of age, as he plays it down the left side here to Szoboszlai. Loses out to Adarabioyo. It's now Caicedo. Forward to the edge of the box to Jackson. Back to goal. Battling again with Konate. Kicks it away from him, but straight to the head of Jones, who can now get it to Szoboszlai. Now Gravenberch to the goalkeeper, Kelleher. Bit of time here for the Irishman. Kicks it out to the right side, to the halfway line, over the head of Salah. And through for the new number 6, Levi Colwill, who of course takes the number 6 from the departing Thiago Silva. As it's Romeo Lavia on the ball. The number 45 struggled badly with injury since joining from Southampton last summer for £53 million. It's been worked through for Sancho, running at Alexander-Arnold onto his right foot, edge of the area. Gusto with the ball again. Gets it back to Sancho in the corner of the box. Through for the runner Gusto. Can he keep it in? He can. And the pull back comes off Konate. And then back off Gusto. Goal kick for Liverpool. Brilliant defending there by Ibrahima Konate, who played every minute for France in the international break against Israel and Belgium. And all 5 of Konate's goals for Liverpool have all been headers. Just one at home against Benfica in the Champions League back in April 2022. It's over 15 minutes in, still goalless. Still no clear-cut chances, though. Chelsea definitely look like they could create one. Probably look more likely to do so than Liverpool in the early stages so far. On the edge of the area, it's Van Dijk on the ball. Plenty of time with it. We've got Jackson close to him, but the Senegalese striker not exactly closing him down, as it's Jones on this near side, halfway line. Again, time on the ball. Chelsea not being too aggressive with their press, not wanting to over-press and get too tired too quickly. As Van Dijk goes for a switch out to the right, it's a high ball and it's chested down by Salah, who tries to go around Gusto, but he's been tackled there by Chelsea's number 27. I really like Gusto when I've seen him play for Chelsea, especially last season when he had to step up at right back for the pretty much always injured Reece James. I do like what he's about, Malo Gusto. And he's got a battle on his hands today, on his weak side as well. He's usually a right-back Gusto, but he's having to deal with Salah as he plays it in space here for Sancho, again running at Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold gets tight to him, kicks it away from him out of play, and I believe that's gone for a Chelsea corner. On the far side, as Chelsea attack towards the Kop end and to our right-hand side. And Chelsea have started well away from home this season. They've won every Premier League game away from home, winning 6-2 against Wolves and then 1-0 against Bournemouth and 3-0 away at West Ham. It's actually gone for a throw-in right next to the corner flag. It's thrown into the box by Gusto and it's gone into the gloves there of Kelleher. Jackson was chasing it as he ran around Konate, but Kelleher was there first. Takes his time with the ball here, Kelleher, rolling it to his right to Konate, who's still in the 18-yard box. He goes forward into the midfield to Szoboszlai, touches it away from Colwill, who's followed him all the way, through the legs of Colwill to Salah. Touch away from Gusto. Pass can only find Caicedo in the centre circle. Chelsea can look to attack here on this near side with Madueke, who received the ball there from Palmer. Doubled up on here as Gakpo forces him to go back to James. Back into the middle to Caicedo. Everyone behind the ball here for Liverpool. Colwill looking out to the left-hand side and he finds Jadon Sancho, who's been brought in on loan this season from Manchester United, where it's just Never quite worked for him in red for Jadon Sancho. As they keep moving the ball around. It's on the halfway line here with Colwill. Time to assess his options. He's got plenty of bodies forward. It's Adarabioyo to put it in behind. Header away by Robertson on the edge of the box. And it drops here to Jones. Getting away from the tackle of Palmer. And then it goes back here to Robertson. He's got Jackson closing him down from behind. Works it to Jones. And it's calmly done there by Curtis Jones, who became a father on Tuesday. Because he was called up to the England senior squad as England had a few injuries to deal with, but he was on the bench for the game against Greece, which obviously ended in defeat for England, and then wasn't a part of the squad against Finland due to the baby that he was due. Well, not he, of course, he wasn't due to have it, but his partner was, and he became a father on Tuesday. So big week for Curtis Jones as Sanchez in the 6-yard box, trying to pass it to one of his centre backs, and Gakpo was chasing him, and he's cut out the pass there, Cody Gakpo, but the interception's gone straight back into the gloves of Robert Sanchez. He's got away with one there big time. Chelsea's number one, who's still got another 6 years left on his contract, Robert Sanchez. Very thankful that went right back into his gloves as he played the pass off the Dutchman. It's now Chelsea have it on the halfway line again. Just less than 20 minutes in. Still 0-0. Colwill out to the left-hand side here to Sancho. Gusto making a run in behind. Sancho will use it as a decoy. Then play the runner Jackson instead. Cut out by Canate. It's on the edge of the area. Sancho wins it off Gravenberch. In the box. Running it. Alexander-Arnold. To the byline. Cuts onto his right foot. Is he caught there? No, he's not, according to the referee. And play continues as Szoboszlai looks for Salah out wide, but he's not there. Salah and Jota had changed positions for now as Lavia takes it away from Szoboszlai. Sancho back to his feet, but slightly hobbling. There's Reece James keeping it away from Gakpo, and it's now with Adarabioyo on the halfway line. I'd see a replay of that. See if Alexander-Arnold got the ball or the man on Jadon Sancho. John Brooks looked pretty unbothered by the challenge, the referee. That's Madueke. Finds Reece James again on the halfway line. It's been a pretty positive start for Chelsea, as Reece James did play 76 minutes of that first game of the season last time out when these two met at Stamford Bridge on game week 1 of the 23-24 season. But that's where he picked up his first lot of injuries in that season. Reece James started straight from the off last season with injuries. He's not been involved in the England setup for a while as well, Reece James, of course, due to his injuries. His last England appearance was back in March 2023. Of course, missing the Euros just gone. Caicedo, centre circle, receives it from Colwill and gets beyond 2 Liverpool challengers. And out wide left again to Sancho, who will again run at Alexander-Arnold, tries to play the ball through for Gusto, intercepted and cleared by Trent. Alexander-Arnold straight through for Colwill on the halfway line, and Chelsea will try and look to attack again as Caicedo receives it again on the turn brilliantly and then feeds it out wide left to Sancho. How many times will he want to run it? Alexander-Arnold doesn't decide to this time, plays the ball back to Lavia, returns it to Sancho. Plenty of red bodies behind the ball now for Liverpool, as it's with Colwill in a midfield position. Goes to his right into a more central area for Caicedo. Reece James, furthest wide right, is Madueke, and he receives the ball. Plays it back onto the angle for Reece James, who will deliver a deep ball into the box here, where it's been headed behind by Alexander-Arnold. And it's a corner kick for Chelsea on the far side. Liverpool clearly rather stumped by this Chelsea early domination in this game. And when I was looking at the Chelsea starting 11, my first thought was, by the way, just having a replay of that Alexander-Arnold challenge in the box on Sancho, certainly doesn't get the ball there, the Liverpool right back. And there was definitely contact, possibly not enough for a penalty, as I'm assuming VAR, Michael Oliver would have had a look at that one, as Chelsea goes short from the corner. Then on the angle to Gusto, right-footed on the left-hand side, hesitates with what he wants to do, eventually gets it back out to Reece James, who then crosses it in himself here towards Adarabioyo, as it's punched away from him by Kelleher, controlled by Sancho, but there was a free kick there in the box. I think Adarabioyo just running into Kelleher as he punched away. Definitely wasn't offside, because Alexander-Arnold pushed out late. But the free kick was given Liverpool's way as they play out from the back. Kelleher being closed down by Palmer, goes to the edge of the area to Gravenberch, who turns away brilliantly from Lavia and plays it to Szoboszlai on the halfway line as the Liverpool decide to attack down the left flank. It's Curtis Jones. He's got Gakpo in front of him. Drives inside instead and then looks for the run of Robertson. Deflects off Madueke to Gravenberch, who's just inside the centre circle in the Chelsea half here for Liverpool. 22.5 minutes in, just over. Still 0-0. Again, just no clear-cut chances. I know I keep saying it, but nothing of note, really. No shots in the game yet, despite it being an interesting watch so far. For Liverpool, who of course only conceded 2 goals so far this season in the Premier League. Both came in the second half when they conceded against Wolves in the 56th minute, and then that only goal in the game against Forest when Hudson-Odoi scored in the 72nd minute. Dominated that game against Forest as well. 14 shots, 6 on target, 70% of the ball. Just could not quite get the goal in that game as Salah down the right side to Jota, who's trying to hold it up, poked away from him by Colwill. It's now with Sancho into the middle to Lavia. Keeps it away from Gravenberch, back to Sancho again. It's now with Lavia. Midway side his own half, goes across to the edge of the box here to Adarabioyo. It's now Reece James, getting in front of Szoboszlai, then running into traffic, and it's taking off him there, and it goes to Jota. But the free kick's gone Reece James' way. I think as he was trying to get beyond the Liverpool press, he was just pulled back by Ryan Gravenberch. Or was it Cody Gakpo? I think Cody Gakpo just held him back. Because if the referee didn't blow there, Jota was one-on-one with Adarabioyo. The referee's given it Chelsea's way, and they've gone over the top and down the right. Madueke's got away from Robertson, in the box, squares it towards Palmer. He'll drop for him, and it's a great block by Curtis Jones. Not cleared by Liverpool. Caicedo with a ball in, volleyed by Van Dijk. Headed forward by Lavia. Gusto. Forward to Palmer. Can't turn away from Van Dijk, and Robertson can hurry a clearance out towards Salah on the right wing, who controls it. And he's now running away from Colwill. Not much support for the Egyptian. Salah trying to turn inside, and he gets away from Colwill. Still with Salah in the corner of the box. Goes down over the challenger Colwill, and it's waved away by the referee. Mohamed Salah, being Mohamed Salah, always looking for that penalty, and he doesn't get it. But the ball out wide there towards Madueke is gone long by Colwill, and it's a Liverpool throw-in on the near side on this halfway line. As Arne Slot, rather annoyed that Salah hasn't been given a penalty there, but he's looking for it. He's already going down. No chance for me of that being a penalty. It would have been very harsh on Colwill. No chance at all. John Brooks was adamant. He was right on the scene. He was right there. There's been a yellow card handed out here for Liverpool. Not quite sure who. Possibly Arne Slot, because he definitely wasn't happy about the decision of no penalty. But if you had a look at it back, you'd probably think the right decision was made there by the referee. So Arne Slot given his first yellow card as Liverpool manager in the Premier League, because he does come across as quite a cool character. The 46-year-old, first ever time away from the Netherlands in his footballing career for Arne Slot. Never moved away from the Netherlands as a player, and he's never moved away as a manager. As Canate clears it up the pitch for Liverpool, it bounces through towards Jota, cleared by Cole, but straight to Jones. Options left and right. And he'll go to the right here to Salah. 1-on-1 with Gusto in that final third. Running towards the box. He's in the box. Left-footed strike. It deflects through for Jones, who's caught by Colwill. And that will be a penalty. Colwill can't believe it. But that's definitely more of a shout of a penalty for Liverpool than the Salah challenge just a minute ago. It fell to Curtis Jones rather fortunately. A Salah shot deflected off him and straight to his feet. And as Colwill's tried to kick the ball away, he's missed the ball and he's kicked Curtis Jones instead. Silly defending really by Colwill, who can't quite believe the decision. Both him and Tosin Adarabioyo, jaws almost hitting the floor and eyes wide open in complete disbelief. But he's definitely gone to play the ball there, Colwill, and he didn't get it, and he kicked Jones instead. And the penalty has been awarded, confirmed by VAR. And a little bit of a rush of blood to the head there by Levi Colwill as he allows Mohamed Salah a chance to score here. He was once of Chelsea, but he's come back to haunt them many a time since leaving the club. He's not scored against them, though, since the 21-22 season. And he's missed the last 2 games against Chelsea Mohamed Salah as John Brooks again, showing the yellow card. This time it's to Nicholas Jackson, who I believe is just trying to delay the taking of the penalty. Robert Sanchez being told to get on his goal line here. As we know, Salah can score penalties, but he can also miss them. But he'll be looking here, Mohamed Salah, to score his 5th Premier League goal of the season. Just one in his last 4. Can he get back on the score sheet? Mohamed Salah slams it into the right-hand side of the goal, sending Sanchez the wrong way. And Mohamed Salah opens the scoring here at Anfield. It's Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. Converts from 12 yards. And that is his 8th goal against his former club. Salah can go both ways with his penalties. This time he went to the right. Never in doubt there for Arne Slot, who fist bumps in delight. And after a start to the game, which has seen Chelsea have a lot of possession but doing nothing with it, Liverpool have won themselves a penalty. They've taken the penalty, and it has been scored by Mohamed Salah. It's 1-0 to Liverpool here at Anfield, just less than half an hour played. And it looks like after an early challenge in the game, Jota was pulled to the ground by Adarabioyo, and then he was landed on by the Chelsea centre-back, and it looks like he landed right towards maybe his ribs, even his chest. He's tried to give it a go the last 10 or 15 minutes to soldier on, but it looks like Diogo Jota cannot continue here for Liverpool, and he will be replaced by the Uruguayan Darwin Núñez, who comes on for his 70th Premier League appearance. He's already made over 100 for Liverpool in all competitions. He's only started once in the Premier League this season, Núñez, and he scored in that start against Bournemouth at home. But he's on the pitch again. And he's always a threat, Darwin Núñez. We know he's got the pace. Sometimes he lacks that composure to finish off chances. But it's certainly not a bad replacement to have. So Jota off for Darwin Núñez. As Liverpool have a flick forward there by Núñez to Salah, who holds it up. And he plays it back through for Núñez, who's made a run down the right wing. Will he get there ahead of Robert Sanchez? No, he won't. Brilliant sliding challenge from the Spaniard in the Chelsea goal. And it'll be a throw-in on the right-hand side for Liverpool. And the fans are now up for it. After taking the lead here. There's a throw-in in behind here. Finds Szoboszlai on the byline. Pulls it across. And it deflects behind for a corner off Colwill. Game has certainly spun right around here. It's now Liverpool, the team, dominating and looking more likely to score again. After just scoring from the penalty spot through Mohamed Salah. Lost just once at home last season. Liverpool. We know they don't get beat here very often. Cross in swinger to the near post, header away for Chelsea. And it falls out here to Alexander-Arnold, who's just drifted to the left-hand side. He puts a cross into the box, can't quite get the curl on it, can't get his boot around it. Straight to Sanchez, he tries to kick it away quickly. Poor kick forward, header away on the halfway line by Szoboszlai. Ball's free in the middle, headed forward by Jones. Touchdown by Núñez. Jones wants to hit it from outside the box. He plays it through for Salah instead, who squares it towards Gakpo, who gets there and the flag's up. Liverpool looking to double their lead, but Darren Can on the far side has his flag up. I think it was the ball through for Salah, which was the one that was offside. Brilliant midfield work from Jones. And he just played the pass too late. Yeah, and he's offside. I wouldn't really blame Salah for that, for being offside. I think Jones needs to play it quicker. There's only so long an attacker can hold their run for. And the goal disallowed. And we are back underway here. Clearly offside by a good yard or two. Don't need any VAR lines to work that one out. As Reece James lifts it forward, can't find Jackson. Header away by Van Dijk. Jones, poor ball back towards Robertson. Out on the halfway line here for a throw-in for Chelsea. It's thrown back there by Reece James. And now with Tosin Adarabioyo, the former England under-19 international. Played over 80 times now in the Premier League. Of course, the majority of those appearances have come for Fulham. Just about to hit the 33-minute mark here, and it's Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. As Caicedo looks for Jackson in behind. He'll get there in the box. Goes for the early shot, and it's hit the near post. He wants a corner. Enzo Maresca wants it. And I don't know if Chelsea have got it. Caicedo, just too easy for him to get the ball on the halfway line. Played it down the right channel for Jackson, who had the shot to the near post. It came off the post. And I believe it's gone for a goal kick, and it has. So a goal kick for Liverpool. As there's a second ball on the pitch, which needs to be kicked out of play here. And it will be by Ibrahima Konate. So despite not many shots, it's definitely been a really indulging game. Not one you want to take your eyes off. There's been some good quality in the midfield especially. A lot of nice, neat turns and passes into the wingers. As Liverpool are trying to go 10 unbeaten in all competitions against Chelsea. As a long ball forward by Kelleher, who's headed away out to the Liverpool right, where the last touch came off Gusto. And about 10 yards inside the Chelsea half, it's a throw for Liverpool. Taken by Salah quickly to Alexander-Arnold. He's now over Ryan Gravenberch. Just inside the Liverpool half, goes to his Dutch teammate Van Dijk. To the right side here to Konate, being closed down by Jackson. Clips it forward to the halfway line, headed won by Colwill. Prodded forward by Alexander-Arnold, high into the sky. Brought down brilliantly by Salah, the goal scorer. Shrugs off Gusto. And last touch off Lavia, wins a throw for his team. Really good performance so far from Mohamed Salah, who's featured in every game so far this season for Liverpool in all competitions. If that's from the start or off the bench, he's actually started 10 now of the 11 games under Arne Slot, Mohamed Salah. Kelleher has it in the 18-yard box, 10 minutes to go until half-time. Beyond the halfway line, out to the Liverpool right again. Salah battling there with Gusto. And Salah wins the free kick. Had his arm being held by Gusto, and the referee doesn't like that. And Liverpool calmly have it in their own half here with Konate. They were well involved in the title race, Liverpool, last season, until the last couple of months, where they just dropped off, which was a little bit poor. And they ended up finishing third, 9 points off City, 7 off Arsenal. But they were 14 clear of Aston Villa in fourth, so they were well away from, the other chasing pack. But they just lost a little bit too much grip on the two in front of them and settles for a third place finish on 82 points. Salah again, battling with Gusto, not for the first time, and it won't be the last, but Gusto wins the battle this time and plays it down the left-hand side for Sancho, midway inside the Liverpool half, running at Alexander-Arnold. On his right foot, wants to play forward here, Sancho. Running forward still. Plays it just behind Caicedo, who can't quite take it under control. And Darwin Núñez can bring it away and plays it into space to Gakpo. That's a brilliant pass from the Uruguayan. Gakpo onto his right foot, 25 yards out, slips it through for Szoboszlai in the box, who will let fly, but he's off balance and he falls as he shoots. And the shot goes straight down the throat of Sanchez, who rolls it out quickly for Gusto. And Chelsea want to go from defence to attack. Caicedo in the centre circle. Goes to his right here to Reece James. Slightly slows down the attack. But Chelsea have it. Should have done better there, really. Dominic Szoboszlai, who's only scored once so far this season, and that was away against AC Milan in the Champions League. Caicedo finding good pockets of spaces in that midfield for Chelsea. Madueke on the wing, onto his left foot from the right-hand side on the edge of the area. Finds Palmer, tries to go once more to Sancho, but cut out by Alexander-Arnold. Forward to Núñez, who's holding it up, being held by Colwill. And that'll be a free kick for Liverpool. He's played really well in the opening few minutes he's been on the pitch, Darwin Núñez, who's never scored against Chelsea. Did miss that League Cup final injured. They're number 9. As Liverpool play out with their back four on the ball, and it's Virgil van Dijk with it. Spent a couple of years at Celtic, you might remember, before joining the English Premier League, firstly with Southampton, before that £75 million move to Liverpool in January 2018. His contract does expire at the end of this season, Van Dijk. So does Alexander-Arnold, and so does Mohamed Salah's as well. Be very interesting to find out what happens with them 3 contracts. It's Kelleher, another high ball out to Salah. He controls it, but it's away from him. And Sancho collects on the halfway line. And it's Chelsea back on the ball. Got a very challenging next 3 Premier League games. Chelsea, Newcastle at home, United away, and Arsenal at home. But they could definitely still get points here. It's not over. Is Sancho in the box, tackled by Alexander-Arnold, and that'll be a corner, for Chelsea on that far side. It's been a constant one-on-one duel on that Liverpool right side. Jadon Sancho always, it seems, running at Alexander-Arnold. Looks like Reece James is going over to the opposite flank to take this corner. He's got Cole Palmer as the short option. Plenty of height in there for Chelsea. Palmer runs away from the short option, delivers the ball in. James headed back straight to him by Szoboszlai. It's now Palmer on the angle with a delivery into the box towards Nicholas Jackson. Header won by Nunez. Out to this Chelsea right flank here to Caicedo. Wants to try and cross. He's got Alexander-Arnold forcing him to the corner flag. Back heels it off Alexander-Arnold, and right next to that corner flag on this near side, it will be a Chelsea throw-in. 6 minutes to go till half-time. Liverpool lead this rather cagey affair. It's been very even. But penalty separates the two at the moment. Reece James gets the ball back from the throw-in, then goes to his left here to Caicedo. Now towards the centre circle here as it's Levi Colwill with his left foot, lifting it out to Sancho, who can control it nicely with his chest. And then back into Gusto. Bit of time on the ball here for the Frenchman. Finds Jackson. Now Caicedo didn't see Nunez behind him and he takes it off him. Good work again from Nunez. Salah with a ball in behind for Gakpo, running through the centre of the pitch, and he's tackled there by Adarabioyo. And that will be a throw-in on that far side for Liverpool. Outside of the boot pass there from Salah. We know he's got that in his locker. But couldn't quite get there first. Cody Gakpo on his 90th Liverpool appearance. It's his 58th start for the club. Just his 4th start this season in all competitions. He's 2nd in the Premier League. Back-to-back starts for him. Against Palace before the international break, and now against Chelsea. As the throw-in's gone back into the Liverpool half here to Canate. It's now Van Dijk. Robertson to Jones, who's just peeled out to his near side, takes it away here from Madueke, but then halts his run forward and then finds Robertson again. Back inside to Jones as Nicholas Jackson's down. I think he just collided there with Ryan Gravenberch, and Canate kicks it out of play to the aggression of the Liverpool supporters, who aren't happy with Canate's decision to kick the ball out of play. Holding his right hip here, Nicholas Jackson. It looked like an off-the-ball incident. I think he was knocked into. Hopefully he was. Because if not, that was an off-the-ball incident where it could be a muscle. And I've got Nicholas Jackson in my fantasy football team. So if he goes off injured, then tears might start slowly going down my face, because I'm not having a great weekend on fantasy. Fantasy football, it's been a shocking weekend. It actually has. Don't even want to tell you what's going on. I'm not even going to look. I'm going to turn it off. I don't want to see that disgustingly low amount of points. It's actually come from when Nicholas Jackson hit the outside of the post about 10 minutes ago. He fell off balance and landed on his right hip, on his hip or to his right. That's where it's come from. Because when he got up after the shot, he felt a bit uncomfortable on that side. And we'll see if Chelsea are going to have to make a change, or if Nicholas Jackson can run this off. Is anyone being readied? I don't think so. they have got plenty of attacking options available to them. Chelsea, Christopher Nkunku's on the bench, so is Pedro Neto, João Felix as well. So it's not like they haven't got the options and the choices. Chelsea, who brought in 11 players in the summer, senior players anyway, not all the South American 16-year-olds who they seem to be buying in advance. But the average age of their signings have been 22, so they have been youngsters they've been bringing in. And the average age of their squad today is 23. Sorry, their starting 11, sorry. The average age of the Chelsea starting 11 is 23. Back underway, Nicholas Jackson still not allowed back on the pitch. Chelsea have given Liverpool the ball back, which you would expect to start of decency. NFL, this game and cricket. Well, like I say, the last year or two, I've been getting into my cricket and I've been keeping up to date with it, men and women side of cricket. I used to hate cricket. I just didn't understand the point of. It just seemed all a bit too boring for me. But I watched the Ashes last year, and I just sold. I love watching it. Whenever it's on, I'll watch it now. So yeah, don't expect any cricket watch-alongs though, because we'll be here literally all day, 4 days. As we're back underway again, just less than a minute until we hit minute 45. It's Liverpool on the ball. Salah lifts it into the box for Nunez, nods it down for Szoboszlai, but yeah, Nunez was offside. Salah played it through towards him. Not quite sure if Nicholas Jackson's back on the pitch yet. I am going to assume he is. I can't see him though, as we're just on the edge of the Chelsea box with the ball. It's in the box with Robert Sanchez. It's Lavia going back to the goalkeeper. Lavia turns away from Szoboszlai, charging down the Chelsea left. And then playing it through for Gusto, who can keep it away from 2 Liverpool players. Now finds Sancho, who will drive forward of the ball and back down the line for Gusto in the final third. Onto his stronger right foot. And one with Alexander-Arnold. Goes back here into Lavia. It's now Gusto again. It's now Colwill. Chelsea just going back towards the centre circle here. Adarabioyo. With it, minute 45, and we're going to get, I'm sure, a few minutes added on. 5 altogether. It's Madueke. Going to run at Robertson. Goes on the outside of him, but he's a good sliding challenge from the Scotsman. And it's going to be a corner on the near side for Chelsea. He has caused Robertson a couple of issues in the first half. Noni Madueke, who's very aware of being involved in clubs in London. He came through at Crystal Palace, spent 4 years at Spurs before going abroad and spending 5 years at PSV, where he joined Chelsea for £28.5 million in the January of 23. This looks like it's going to be in-swinging delivery from Palmer. In it goes. Header away, though, by Van Dijk. Who else would it be? Headed back out wide by Caicedo. As far as Robertson, who heads forward himself. Or as far as Gusto, who leaves it for Caicedo. Chips it out to the left wing. Headed forward by Alexander-Arnold. Straight to the feet of Gravenberch. Halfway line, far side. It's now Salah to bring it forward. Another pass that down the middle for Nunez. Needs to go one more to Gakpo. Goes to Jones instead, who can turn forward. And he runs into the goalkeeper. And it's another penalty. Both won by Curtis Jones. There's a bemused look on the face of Robert Sanchez, who's booked for the foul. I'd need to see that one again. I'm not completely convinced about this one. Enzo Maresca can't believe it. Who's remonstrating with the fourth official, Craig Pawson. Darwin Núñez played it through the middle for Jones, who beat Adarabioyo. And he's done a forward flip there over the goalkeeper, Curtis Jones. Robert Sanchez came for it. It seemed like he got the ball. No, running towards goal. Jones just can't quite sort his feet out to shoot. And it looks like Sanchez meets him and gets the ball. That just seems a bit... It didn't seem like a penalty to me in real time. I don't think that's a penalty at all. Sanchez gets his right leg to the ball and then Jones runs through him. And he does like a forward roll. And yeah, very quickly, John Brooks has been told to go and have a look at this by the VAR Michael Oliver. I have a feeling this will be overturned. Liverpool have already had one penalty. I don't think they'll be getting a second. Curtis Jones just took too long to get the shot off. Sanchez came out, got a touch to the ball first, and then because Curtis Jones was running forward, he couldn't quite stop himself running into Sanchez. I don't think that's the goalkeeper's fault. And I'm going to have a guess that this penalty will not stand. Brave goalkeeping from the former Brighton man. He's having a good look at it. There's an angle where it looks like he doesn't get much of the ball, but the other angle, which is facing right forward at the action, you can clearly see he gets a big chunk of the ball. The referee's had a look at the VAR monitor, and he has took the penalty off Liverpool. It will not be given, and I do believe he's made the right call there. The referee, John Brooks, who will take away the yellow card that he gave Robert Sanchez. Yeah, clearly see he got a big contact on the ball as he came running at Jones. Got that right foot to the ball. Yeah, no penalty for me. Right decision there by the referee, who's been able to put pride aside and understand that he made the wrong call there. So we've played 4 minutes of the 5 added on. We might play a little bit more due to that stoppage with that VAR check, as the long ball forward by Sanchez is headed backwards by Van Dijk, straight to Kelleher, who will pick it up as Nicholas Jackson has remained on the pitch, by the way. That might be a half-time change if he's still struggling with his right-hand hip. Long ball forward by Kelleher this time, headed away by Nunez on the edge of the box by Adarabioyo. Now Nunez again with the header, cut out by Lavia this time. Caicedo lifts it out to the right wing to Madueke. Brilliant ball. He's been chased down by 2 Liverpool players, but he'll get away from both of them. He's now running at Van Dijk. He releases it to the left here to Sancho. Late chance possibly for Chelsea. On his right foot, edge of the box. Pokes it back to Lavia, who gets away from the challenge to Szoboszlai and Nunez. Brilliant feet from Lavia. Takes too long with the pass. Tackle by Nunez. Canate beats Gusto to it. And Liverpool can try and break. Salah on the right-hand side, just in his own half. He's going to go for a long ball forward towards Gakpo. Headed away from him by James, but straight to Szoboszlai, who's tackled by Caicedo fairly. And Chelsea have the ball. We've played the 5 added on, but again, I think we'll play a little bit more due to the fact we had a little stoppage there with that VAR check for a possible penalty for Liverpool. Reece James at right back, lifting it down the right flank again for Madueke, who's in behind Robertson. Not many Chelsea players in the box. They now arrive late. Madueke running one-on-one at Robertson. Finds Palmer in the box with space, who will shoot towards the far post. And he just lifts it over the crossbar. Not been too involved so far this afternoon, Cole Palmer, on his 60th Premier League appearance. And that's probably the first time he's found himself in a decent shooting position. About 16 yards out, try to bend it to that far corner. He's just leant back too much. And over the crossbar it goes. Enzo Maresca can see that was a big opportunity for his side. Cole Palmer not able to take it after scoring 6 in his first 7 Premier League games this season. Kelleher's goal kick goes long and into the sky. Headed forward by Caicedo on halfway to Palmer. Then to the right to Madueke. Possibly one last chance for Chelsea. As Madueke kicks it off Robertson, throwing in the final third here for the away side. It's now Chelsea with the throw-in. Caicedo, tackled by Nunez. Last touch off Caicedo. It's a throw-in for Liverpool. Caicedo stayed down here after that challenge from the Uruguayan. Savile Nunez just going through the back of Caicedo. Probably a free kick, really. Didn't get any of the ball, Nunez, and kicked through Caicedo, but not given by the referee, so that's the decision. Throwing for Liverpool in a left-back position, as I don't think we'll have too much long left now in this first half at Anfield. Thrown down the line, headed inside by Gakpo, headed away, though, by Adarabioyo. It's now Palmer, pulled down by Szoboszlai. Free kick for Chelsea. Quite far out on the right-hand side. So definitely be a chance for a delivery into the box as Dominic Szoboszlai goes into the book there. I'm not sure if it was for the foul. It might have been for the afters of what he was saying to the referee. A little bit of a slap and a kick of the ball away by Szoboszlai. So the Hungarian into the referee's book. This will more than likely be it for the first half after this chance is taken with a ball into the box. It's going to be Reece James. It's a deep one towards Colwill. Well headed away there by Nunez. And we won't have time for the resulting corner. And at half-time here at Anfield, after 53 minutes played, it is the home side who have the lead. And it was through Mohamed Salah from the penalty spot after half an hour played. But even after that first penalty, a second one was given to Liverpool. In added on time in the first half, Curtis Jones played through by Nunez, who's had a positive impact off the bench after replacing the injured Diogo Jota. Played it through for Curtis Jones, who simply just took too long to get the shot off. The goalkeeper came out, Robert Sanchez, and at first the referee thought that Sanchez went through Curtis Jones and won none of the ball. But the replay afterwards showed that Robert Sanchez did get a good bit of contact on the ball before Curtis Jones went down after running into the goalkeeper himself. And the referee went through to VAR screen and overturned his own decision. So after the first half here at Anfield, it's Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. Mohamed Salah's penalty after half an hour. The difference between the two. Could have had a second penalty, but like I said, I think it was rightly overturned by VAR, getting the referee to go and have a look, and he overturned his own decision. There was no penalty in the end. But it's been a bit of a, not strange, it has been a strange game. Because Chelsea definitely looked better, possibly with the ball, but then again, Liverpool, like they were under Klopp a lot, were just very effective when they had it. You know, they were able to get the ball forward as quickly as possible. And again, they've not looked too threatful, Liverpool, but then Chelsea haven't as well. Chelsea have looked nice with the ball. Their passing's been tidy. They've been getting their wingers into the game a lot, which I think is a good sign. You know, making sure that the full-backs aren't having an easy game. But just not really doing much with the ball. We had Jackson hit the outside of the near post, you know, midway through the first half. You know, even if it was on target, Kelleher had it covered. Palmer, right near the end of that first half, had a shot towards the top left corner. He put over the crossbar. He'll be disappointed he didn't get that on target. So despite Chelsea looking, you know, clean in possession and, you know, spending a lot of the first half in Liverpool's half, just nothing really too clear-cut created. And Liverpool, you know, they haven't had a lot of, you know, settled possession. A lot of the possession they've had, they've been on the move with it. They like to try and get the ball forward as quickly as possible. And, you know, for the penalty, which was given for Liverpool, it was Mohamed Salah getting the ball on the right wing. He cut into the box on his left foot and his shot deflected, I think, off Colwill to Jones, who then was brought down by Colwill as he tried to kick the ball away from Jones, who could have had a shot from inside the box, but he was kicked to the ground, and that's where the penalty came from. So it's definitely two contrasting styles at the moment we can see. Liverpool playing a bit more counter-attacking, you know, let's just attack football, not messing around with the ball too much. But with Chelsea, it's a lot more structured, you know, a lot more passing. And again, it's not like they've not had chances, they've had chances, but not very clear ones. Like I say, Jackson's shot off the post probably would have been saved by Kelleher, and the angle was rather tight. The Palmer one was just inside the 18-yard box. It would have been a worldie of a goal if he'd got it into the back of the net. So it is 1-0 at half-time here at Anfield. Let's get that written down there, half-time. If you do, you know, decide to, don't go yet off the stream if you don't mind. I've got something I'd like to tell you all. But if you do end up going at some point in the half-time break, make sure you do come back for the second half. And just a quick message that I want to say is you can see here going across the screen, because at the moment I actually don't know when I'm commentating next. I've got some stuff going on, which means I can't exactly commit to when I'll be commentating next. I've got quite a busy week next week, so I don't think there'll be any commentaries next week, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll be back within the next couple of weeks. So it's usually down the bottom of the screen, you can see there I have my next commentaries going across the screen, but because I don't have any upcoming ones, definitely going to happen. Of course, there will be more commentaries this season, but I don't know when. We've just got, you can see at the moment, again, I watch this comedy podcast called Have a Word, and there's a couple of people from Liverpool on it, and it's a Liverpool based podcast really, and it's a comedy one, and this is how I've heard of it through them, and it's heartbreaking news. And in Liverpool there is a place called Zoe's Place, and it's a baby hospice, and news has come out recently that they're going to have to close down. The building's going to have to be closed down due to insufficient funding, and they need to raise £5 million before the end of the month if they can, if they want to keep Zoe's Place going. Basically, they need that money to relocate, to build a new place for the hospice to hold all these babies that are in need of their help and support and treatment. So if you just search on Google Zoe's Place Baby Hospice Just Giving, if you go on there, you can have a read of what's going on and you can donate. And the people of Liverpool, and of course everyone around the world and in the UK who have obviously seen the story, so far they have raised just under £2 million, which is absolutely insane. And this fundraising only started a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately the bottom line of it isn't enough. They need another £3 million in the next 2 weeks to try and save this hospice, which is one of the heartbeats of Liverpool. From what I've been read, obviously I'm not from Liverpool myself, but from what I've been told and what I've read, this is one of the staples of Liverpool. A place to get really important treatment to babies who are obviously in need of help. So if you can, and if you've got any money, no matter how little or how much, try and donate. Like I say, I'll put a link actually to the Just Giving in the description. I completely forgot I can do that. I'm going to do that right now. So if you've got any change or any money that you've got going spare, please donate it to Zoe's Place. They need all the money possible. So that is now in the description, the Just Giving page. Just completely forgot I can do that. So if you want to go and check out the link during half time or at the end of the game to have a read of what is going on and why so much money is needed to be raised, then you can go and have a look there. Like I say, 2 million, just under 2 million raised so far, which is incredible, but unfortunately the bottom line is it's not enough. So make sure you do your bit if you can. Try and donate some money, and also even try and fundraise as well. You can do well. I mean, in the last year I've done a sponsored walk for Calm, which is a mental health charity. I did that in July, raised just under £1,000. So if you could do some fundraising, if that's a sponsored walk, selling cakes, selling old clothes and donating the money, whatever you can, try and make sure you can try and donate as much as possible. So the story for that is in the description. Have a look at the Zoe's Place Just Giving page, and you can find out more information, and also try and help raise these funds that is needed by the end of the month. So yeah, if you can do, and if you can donate any sort of amount, that would be greatly appreciated. So like I say, in the description down below, Zoe's Place Baby Hospice Just Giving. At the end of the month, it will be closing down if the money and raised isn't enough. It's going to go, and it is simply something that can't happen. And I'm sure the people of Liverpool are going to do their absolute best to make sure it doesn't happen. I know politicians have got involved as well. MPs are also trying to support the case and the need for money. So hopefully by the end of October there will be a big push in terms of money, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get Zoe's Place, a new home, and it can carry on giving the support that it does give to young children and babies within Liverpool. These kind of places are dotted all over the country, and they're all as important as each other. So let's try our best and donate to Zoe's Place. The Just Giving link is down below. Make sure you donate if you can. It is it's something, like I say, came to my attention a few weeks ago as one of the hosts of the podcast I listen to, Adam Rowe, is kind of like one of the main people who are leading the charge to make sure this money is raised, because I believe he was meant to be doing a bike ride for Zoe's Hospice in India next month. So that's why it came to his attention, and then it's just skyrocketed. Like I say, nearly £2 million raised already, but we still need another 3 if we are to get Zoe's Place a new home in Liverpool. So, like I say, anything you can do, if it's donate, if it's sponsor, if it's whatever you can do, make sure you try your best to help out and donate to Zoe's Place. So if you're wondering why that's running across the screen, that's why I've decided to put it on. So yeah, link in the description. I'll put that down as well, but the link's in the description. Not actually heard in terms of this Zoe's Place news. This might change hopefully in the upcoming weeks. I really hope so. But I've not actually heard about anything that Liverpool Football Club and Everton Football Club are doing. I've heard they've been contacted, which is good, because of course, football clubs and football players have plenty of, earn a lot of money. It's well, it's well known within football that the money's good in the Premier League. So hopefully, maybe if the news spreads quickly enough that football, the football clubs from Liverpool and Everton, hopefully they can also help shed some light on this and help get some money raised. Like I said, they need the money by the 9th of November. So it's very important that people, all come together here and try and get as much raised as possible. So thank you everyone who's stuck around there and who's joined and who's listened, and hopefully we can do something where we can get some more donations to that Just Giving. Like I say, stick around for the second half of this live commentary as well, which is coming up very shortly. We had a bit of an extended first half there. We had 8 minutes added on, played in the end. 5 were indicated, but we had that penalty given by the referee, which was then overturned. So Liverpool almost getting a second penalty, but John Brooks decided to overturn his decision, which was the right one. It wasn't a penalty on Curtis Jones. The first one was, second one wasn't. So the second half will be getting underway in a couple of minutes' time. But like I say, during the second half and at the end of the game, I'll remind you all about making sure we can try and donate as much money to Zoe's Place as possible. The link to donate and to read more about the story is in the description down below. So, if this result stays the same, or even if it ends a draw, it will mean that Liverpool will be on a run of 10 unbeaten against Chelsea. Could be 5 wins and 5 draws. So it's not exactly like they're winning every time they're playing Chelsea, but they're certainly not losing, which of course is the most important thing usually about football matches. But Chelsea's last 3 Premier League wins against Liverpool have been by 1 goal. They won 1-0 against them in March 2021 here at Anfield. They beat them 1-0 in May 2018, and then they beat them 2-1 in November 2014. So in just under the last 10 years, Chelsea have only beaten Liverpool 3 times in the Premier League. So again, it's not exactly like Chelsea have enjoyed this fixture in recent years at all. It's usually been Liverpool who have been on the favoured side of the result. But that could change in the second half. Chelsea are showing what they can do, and it's not exactly like they're being dominated. They're certainly well within this game, Chelsea. Just need to try and make a few more clear-cut chances. They're not really creating much of the ball they're having at the moment. So, like I say, during this half-time, if you missed it, we have been talking about the donations that you could make to Zoe's Place Baby Hospice, which is in Liverpool, and it is on the verge of closing down and not being able to find a new home due to lack of funding. And they need another £3 million donated. We've already raised, say we, obviously, not exactly much a part of it, but the people of Liverpool and people online have been able to raise 2 million so far, so we need another 3, and we've got 3 weeks to do that, just less than 3 weeks, and hopefully it can be done. It would be a fantastic story if it could be, as so much money raised already. It would be a very emotional but moving story if that place can be saved, as does look like Enzo Maresca is back on the bench for this second half, as he's currently just talking to the backup goalkeeper on the bench this afternoon, Marcus Bettinelli. As it does look like there is movement on the Chelsea bench. Like I said, they've got plenty of options. Enzo Fernandez is on the bench. He usually plays, but he's obviously been playing for Argentina on the international break, so not much time for him to get back into the swing of things over here in England, as it does look like they're going to make a half-time change, and this will probably be Nicholas Jackson. No, it won't be. I'm wrong. Apologies. So they're going to take off Jadon Sancho, which surprises me a little bit. He's ran with the ball well, Jadon Sancho, but again, it's just lacking that real, clear-cut kind of, you're never quite certain if he can take his man on, or if he's going to even try to. So Jadon Sancho off at half-time for Chelsea's new number 7, Pedro Neto. The only reason I thought it may have been Nicholas Jackson was the fact he was struggling with his hip at the end of the first half, but of course, seems he's okay to continue. So it's Chelsea to kick right to left, Liverpool left to right towards the Kop in the second half. It's Liverpool who have started the half with the ball, and they've got it on the halfway line here with Ryan Gravenberch, the former Ajax and Bayern Munich midfielder. Finds Canate out to the left of Robertson. Down line for Jones on the far side, being tracked by Caicedo. And he's been tackled by Madueke, who helps out Caicedo. And it's now with Colwill, who's been chased down by Szoboszlai. And he's gone to his goalkeeper, Sanchez, who returns it to Colwill on the edge of the box. It's now on the left-hand side with Neto, keeping it away from Alexander-Arnold, playing it back to Colwill. And it's Chelsea now who are on the ball in this second half. As in the midfield, Caicedo always finding those spaces in between the lines all day so far. I think he's played quite well, Caicedo, in that midfield, battling with the likes of Gravenberch and Szoboszlai and Jones. It's not been an easy midfield battle for the Ecuadorian. As we're on the halfway line with Colwill, looking out to the Chelsea left. It's got Neto, who he can find midway inside the Liverpool half. Goes back here into Malo Gusto. Now into the centre circle to Tosin Adarabioyo, who's only won once against Liverpool in his career, and it did come here at Anfield with Fulham under Scott Parker in the 2020-2021 seasons. Madueke runs into the box and finds a cross towards the penalty spot, cleared away by Gravenberch, straight to Reece James, who can control, then back down the line to Madueke. Reece James again has it. His first appearance of the season, the Chelsea captain, goes to Madueke again. It's now with James on the angle, first down cross, it's low, cleared by Van Dijk, and the Liverpool defence can push up the pitch here. And Nunez will chase down Adarabioyo, who can go to the goalkeeper Sanchez, who then returns it to Chelsea's number 4. And again, the Blues have the possession, certainly still within this game, live at Chelsea, not just because of the scoreline being 1-0, but also the fact that, Chelsea have had more of the ball than Liverpool have, but again, just not being quite effective with it. As in the middle, centre circle, Caicedo picks it up, plays it through for Jackson. Is he onside? That'll be questioned afterwards as Jackson bears down on goal! And he finishes, and then the flag goes up. Looked offside to me. He's finished it well there, Nicholas Jackson. It'll be his 5th Premier League goal of the season if it stands. 2.5 minutes into the second half, but I doubt it will. Ball into the middle by Gusto, again finding Caicedo, who's found plenty of space so far, and that is tight, and it could be onside. Canate's outstretched left leg might have kept Jackson onside here. I think this will stand. I think this will stand. That Canate left leg unnecessarily just stuck out towards his own goal, which leaves Jackson onside. He's timed his run right through the middle of Canate and Van Dijk. And as he ran at the goalkeeper Kelleher, he was able to slot it beyond the Irishman into the back of the net. And right at the start of the second half, I think Chelsea have bagged themselves an equaliser. Michael Oliver there in the VAR hub, sorting out this very important decision. And he's onside, and this goal will stand. Nicholas Jackson scores 12 yards out, slotting it beyond Kelleher. And in fairness, it looked offside at first look. It really did. And the goal stands. Nicholas Jackson scores for Chelsea. He runs towards the travelling supporters in delight, as at first he thought the goal didn't stand, but after a VAR check, it certainly will. Caicedo, we were just talking about how he's had such an impact in this game in the midfield, and he was the one to slot it through to Jackson, who just got the shot away ahead of Kelleher and the sliding Robertson, and just placed it into the bottom right corner. Superbly done by the Senegalese sensation. And it's Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1 right at the start of this second half. Brilliant from Nicholas Jackson. You know, sometimes he's been criticised for his lack of end product at times, rushing chances, missing quite easy chances. But he's done really well there to drive into the box and just slot past Kelleher into the bottom right corner. It's Chelsea are looking like they want to make even more changes despite just making the equaliser and scoring an equaliser. 5 minutes into the second half, it's 1-1 at Anfield. And it's Alexander-Arnold with a header to the halfway line to Salah, who helps it onto Gravenberch. Brilliant turn away from Lavia. Skips beyond Caicedo. Gakpo's free on the left wing and he finds him in the final third. Gakpo on the right foot, crosses and it comes off James. And that'll be a throw-in for Liverpool. It's now worked back to the halfway line here to Van Dijk. Plenty of time on the ball here for the now 33-year-old Virgil van Dijk. Turned 33 in the start of July. Salah, left-footed cross goes in. It's a late run from Jones who can control it and he stabs it home. An instant response from Liverpool. Questionable goalkeeping, but Curtis Jones pounces for Liverpool. He won the penalty for the first goal in the first half. He's now scored one of his own in the second. It's his first goal of the season in just his third start in all competitions. What a week it's been for him. Became a dad on Tuesday and now he's scoring in front of the Kop on Sunday. Szoboszlai found Salah on the right wing. Gusto just not getting tight enough to the Egyptian who could cross it. Jones makes a brilliant late run into the box, completely unmarked. And as he took his touch into the 6-yard box, Sanchez almost glued to his line. No idea what the Spanish goalkeeper's doing. That is horrific goalkeeping. Not brave enough at all. And as he eventually tried to close down Jones, it was far too late. And Liverpool's number 17, after taking the touch of his left foot, just lifted it over the goalkeeper into the bottom right corner with his right foot. And right after being pulled back to 1-1, they've put themselves back in front at 2-1. As in the 52nd minute, at Anfield, it's Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. Arne Slot will be delighted. Enzo Maresca will be absolutely raging with his goalkeeper not coming out for that ball. So the first change, we've got 3 Chelsea changes. These were ready before the goal. So the first change, we'll see Reece James replaced, which you can understand it's his first game of the season. So Reece James off for Renato Vega. Romeo Lavia off for Enzo Fernandez. And we've had a third and final change. as I think Tosin Adarabioyo has come off for Benoit Badiashile. So 3 changes there for Chelsea. Pedro Neto charging down the left wing, looking for Jackson. It's just played behind him on the edge of the box. Cleared for Liverpool, but not very convincing. It's now on the halfway line with Chelsea in the centre circle with Levi Colwill. Lifting it out to the right-hand side here to Madueke. Header away by Robertson, straight to Gakpo, midway side his own half. Goes into the midfield to the goal scorer of Curtis Jones. Back to Kelleher, first time clearance down the Liverpool left. Cleared forward by Gusto, who goes over to right back now for Chelsea. His clearance isn't convincing, goes to Jones. Straight to Gakpo, trying to switch out towards Salah on the right wing. It will reach him ahead of Vega, who's come on and he's going to play left back for Chelsea off the bench. 10 minutes into the second half, we've already had 2 goals. Jackson in the 48th minute, and Curtis Jones getting Liverpool back ahead straight away in the 51st as Robertson's ball over the top finds Gakpo in the final third. Shrugged to the ground by Gusto, but there's an offside flag up anyway on Gakpo. Free kick in a right back position for the away side. What a moment for Curtis Jones to score his first of the season in all competitions. Only scored once in the Premier League last season. That was against Newcastle on New Year's Day. He scored 5 in all competitions last season. Colwill forward towards Jackson, cut out by Canate. But there was a foul on Colwill as he released the ball there, just caught by Nunez. He doesn't agree with the decision, but it's gone against him. It'll be a Chelsea free kick, which they've taken quickly. Then Enzo Fernandez releasing it towards Madueke on the right wing. It's a high ball, which can be headed away by Robertson towards Gakpo, who lifts it over the head of Gusto and cannot get around the Frenchman. Well defended there by Gusto. And that'll be Chelsea's ball. On the right wing, it's Palmer, pokes it forward to Madueke, beats Robertson to it. It's now Caicedo on halfway, finding Enzo Fernandez, who will play a high ball out to the left towards Pedro Neto. Brilliant ball, perfectly weighted. Neto driving inside now. Turning back out towards the left-hand side, and he finds Vega. Back into the space for Neto. And it's a strong challenge there from Trent Alexander-Arnold. And that'll be a throw-in for Chelsea, just towards the final third on this near side. As one of Chelsea's substitutes, Renato Vega, their number 40, brought in from Basel in the summer. He made his full Portugal debut in the recent international break, played at centre-back alongside Ruben Diaz against Poland away from home in their 3-1 win as Neto crosses into the box, collected by Kelleher ahead of Cole Palmer. So he's certainly starting to grow stature in the game, Renato Vega. 21 years of age, can play centre-back, left-back, play midfield as well. Kelleher clears for Liverpool, controlled by Vega, ahead of Salah. It's now Neto, slowing down the play in the Liverpool half here. Vega again, in a left wing position from fullback. Goes back here into Badiashile. Gusto. Out wide here to Madueke, on the far side. Finds Gusto again. Keeps it moving to Caicedo to his left, on once more to Badiashile. Out wide for Neto. Wants the early cross, doesn't go for it. A couple of step overs, then runs around Trent Alexander-Arnold. Keeps it away from the English right back. Colwill. Chelsea not rushing it here. Not wanting to give away the ball too cheaply. Cole Palmer switches out to the left. It's a brilliant ball, again controlled by Neto. Just needs to be a bit quicker here, Chelsea. A bit too slow at the moment. Colwill lifts out to the right-hand side. Is it overhit? A bit too much on it. Madueke can keep it in, but it drops straight to Robertson. It's now Liverpool with the ball. Van Dijk forward to Szoboszlai. Back into Canate. Quick 1-2 of Alexander-Arnold to keep it away from Jackson. Gakpo on the left wing, running towards goal, looking for Jones on the edge of the area, cut out by Gusto, who can be dispossessed by Gakpo. It's kept in by Jones. And then Cole Palmer gets involved and he can deflect it out of play for a Liverpool throw-in on that far side. Not had a great game so far today, Cole Palmer. Not very involved, despite Liverpool allowing Chelsea to have quite a bit of possession in the game. Szoboszlai. See space out on the left for Gakpo. Can't quite get it over the head of Gusto. It's now Caicedo. Midway side zone half. Drives away from Szoboszlai. And also the challenger Jones. And then works it to Fernandes. On once more to Vega. Touches it away from Salah. And Vega keeps running here. But the slide tackle from Jones wins the ball back for Liverpool. Really well worked from Curtis Jones. Centre circle. He's tackled illegally by Caicedo, according to the referee. And Caicedo, who's got the captain's armband on here for Chelsea, can't quite believe that's gone against him. Did seem like he won the ball there, first of all. Jones certainly did with his slide tackle on Vega. And then Caicedo comes in. It looks like he wins the ball. Free kick was given anyway. We're back underway. Liverpool have it on this near side. Gravenberch goes into Nunez, then back to Salah, who switches it. Loads of space on the left there for Gakpo, who's in the box, 1-on-1 with Gusto, on his right foot, strikes it to the top right corner. Too high, too wide, goal kick for Chelsea. Brilliant ball out wide there by Salah, and really, Gakpo should be doing a lot better with that. Assisted in the last game against Crystal Palace, Cody Gakpo, before the international break. He's not scored yet this season in the league. Scored twice against West Ham in the League Cup. Exactly half an hour to play here at Anfield. It's Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. Badia Shield looking for Jackson. Dispossessed by Canate. Szoboszlai lays it off towards the halfway line here to Jones. It's now Van Dijk. Goes to the right to Canate. We're in the Liverpool half here. Forward to Salah. Strong tackle from Vega, but he can't quite get any touch on the ball, and Salah can bring it away. Drifts into a central area, then tries to play it in behind for Gakpo. Cut out again by Gusto. But then Fernandes gives it away, but he was caught as he played the pass by Salah. Free kick in the Chelsea half for the away team. Back here, and Liverpool almost away. Well dealt with there by Colwill. There was a through ball towards Nunez, but Colwill got there, kicked it out wide. Wasn't exactly a directed pass, but it worked its way to Madueke, and Chelsea have got it in the Liverpool half here. Badia Shield working it to this near side now. It's Neto. Loads of time here for the number 7, but he don't really look like he wants to do much with it. Finds Fernandes, who's more in the middle, then back out wide to Neto. Good ball, and then he puts a cross into the far post towards Madueke, who can volley towards goal. But straight at Kelleher. Didn't quite catch it sweetly, Madueke, but it wasn't the worst attempt from the number 11 for Chelsea, 22 years of age. Liverpool are readying a change of their own here. Looks like Luis Diaz will be coming on. As Szoboszlai's touch is heavy, Colwill wins it back and works out wide left to Neto. Quick 1-2 Neto there with Jackson. Neto brought to the ground by Gravenberch, and the referee gives it as a free kick. Gravenberch, you could say, not quite agreeing with that decision. Let's have a look. Yeah, bit of a shove in the back. I think some referees give that, some don't. Looks a bit shoulder to shoulder to me. It's been given anyway against the Dutchman. He's had a brilliant start to the season. It's about 20 or so yards out. Just to the left-hand side of the box. You'd fancy more a right footer with a shot here, but we might see a Cole Palmer cross or maybe a Cole Palmer shot. We will find out very shortly what happens with this free kick. It's in a brilliant area for Chelsea. So with the fact that Cole Palmer's had a rather quiet day, he could definitely put himself in the spotlight here. Curtis Jones lay behind the wall. It's a 5-man Liverpool wall. Cole Palmer will hit it and it's straight off the head of Alexander-Arnold. And that will be a corner kick on the near side for Liverpool. Remember in the international break, Cole Palmer watched Trent Alexander-Arnold put a free kick right into the top corner against Finland. Cole Palmer not quite able to recreate the magic of Trent Alexander-Arnold. As Gusto crosses in. Madueke on the edge of the box. Plays the ball back. But as he plays it back, he catches Nunez on the edge of the area. And that's a free kick for Liverpool. 25 minutes left of the game. Plus added on time. And Liverpool wanted to take the free kick quickly, but they're the ones who actually want to make a substitution. So the referee stops the quick free kick. And we'll see a change here. And it will be Cody Gakpo, who is making back-to-back starts today. Started the game before the international break against Crystal Palace started today. And Luis Diaz comes on, who's not exactly had a bad start to the season himself here. 5 goals already in the Premier League. Scored 2 braces against Manchester United and Bournemouth. Scored once against Brentford as well. But he's come off the bench in the last 2 games. And he comes off the bench, the Colombian, to make his 75th Premier League appearance. Joined Liverpool back in January 2022 from Porto. Scored in the international break as well against Chile. As the ball drops to Colwill, as Badiashile and Nunez went for the header together. Colwill, poor ball, and he knew it straight away. Straight to Salah, sends it over the top towards Diaz. Well caught there by Sanchez. Colwill instantly apologetic for that poor ball. Palmer takes on Jones. What a flick that is. Palmer from the right wing, switching it out to the left. It's just behind Neto, who again just slows down with the ball. Oh my God, it's painful. Run at him. I mean, like I said, I don't support Chelsea. I don't really care how this game ends. But I felt like they brought Sancho off for Neto to run at Alexander-Arnold. Sancho wasn't exactly doing that too often, directly running at him. I thought they were going to bring on Neto because he has that quick footwork to really run at Alexander-Arnold. But every time he gets the ball, he just stops, looks up for 5 seconds and ends up playing it backwards. It's boring. Run at him. Honestly, frustrating to watch. It's now on the Chelsea right side now. Madueke keeping it away from the challenge there of newly brought on Luis Diaz. It's now Renato Vega, ball over the top, looking for the run of Neto or Fernandes. It's headed though by Alexander-Arnold. Back to his goalkeeper, Kelleher. And it's well dealt with there by Liverpool. We've got a quarter of the game left to go. Trying to see out these 3 points. Nunez holding the ball up against Badiashile. And he's fouled there by the Frenchman. And that's a free kick for the home side. Really do think he's played well since coming on for Jota in the first half. Darwin Nunez really putting himself about, as he hadn't played in any of the last 2 Premier League games. Featured in both games and played every minute for Uruguay in the international break. Salah to Alexander-Arnold, clears it forward down the Liverpool right. Won by Badiashile, who kicks it forward. And there's an offside flag there. Badiashile knocks over Nunez. Badiashile didn't like the foul there. And the challenge by Nunez on him. They're battling quite strongly, them two. But there was a free kick given to Chelsea anyway for an offside. Nunez was offside as the ball was played to him, but he also put a bit of a nasty one on Badiashile. New Zealand on their way to victory if Liverpool can hold on one morning. Yeah. They both shake hands there, Nunez and Badiashile. Don't mind a bit of battling like that. Like I say, Nunez was offside anyway, but it was just a little bit of a late one there by Nunez, and Badiashile went up to him and just kind of chested into his shoulder, and Nunez a bit dramatically went to the ground, but nothing given, no yellow cards or anything, just a little bit of a warning from the referees. Badiashile again knocked over by Nunez, and that will be a free kick this time for Chelsea, and it'll be a yellow card for the Uruguayan. Mohamed Salah also not happy. Tried it the first time there, Nunez got away with it. He's just done the same thing the second time and he's not got away with it. It's clearly a foul. Even probably, yes, a yellow card. Just go straight through the back of him. Doesn't get any of the ball. So Chelsea have it. They've got over 20 minutes to go here to try and turn this one around. As they've got it on the halfway line here with Gusto. Into the centre circle with Vega. Again, another over-the-top through ball looking for Fernandes. It'll go through towards Kelleher, who can't quite get there the first time, but it's kicked to him by Enzo Fernandez, who was trying to get through to the ball. Try to get away from Alexander-Arnold, then to the ball to beat Kelleher, but not quite able to do so as another foul goes against Liverpool. Gravenberch bringing down Caicedo. Gravenberch in the way as he tries to take it quickly. And again, I think the referee in the way that time as they try to take it quickly, so Chelsea, for a third time, will take this free kick. Like I say, it's just inside the, about 10-15 yards inside the Liverpool half. They take it, and they're now in the centre circle here with Levi Colwill. Badiashile to Gusto. Now Colwill on the halfway line, working out to the left to Neto. He's got the run of Fernandes down the left side. He'll drive inside where the space has been created. Neto keeps driving, keeps running, lays it off for Palmer in the box. Oh, left-footed, he hesitated, he gets the shot away, but it's blocked. Then it drops to Gusto, who sends it absolutely flying over the crossbar. And he just seemed a little bit indecisive there, Cole Palmer, which is not like him. Brilliant run from Neto, going from the left-hand side right into the middle of the pitch. Laid it off to Palmer on the edge of the box, and he just had to shoot quicker. I don't know what he's hesitating for. Good block in the end from Szoboszlai. But Palmer has got to get that shot away so much quicker than he did. And it results in the end of the attack, it ends up being a Liverpool goal kick. Long ball by Kelleher. Nunez will chase it. Badiashile will work it to Sanchez, who plays it forward, but straight to Szoboszlai. That's really poor. It's now Salah on the right wing. On the edge of the box, onto his left foot. Crosses, deflects to Szoboszlai, works it back out to Salah. Surrounded by blue shirts. Prods it back to Alexander-Arnold. Quick 1-2 with Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold brought down on the edge of the area. Fairly, according to the referee, cleared by Chelsea. Straight to Van Dijk, unopposed in the centre circle. And Liverpool can remain on the ball here. But Chelsea still in the game, just one behind. But when they got the equaliser in the 48th minute, they were pegged straight back 3 minutes later. Because for Liverpool, they're looking to win a second Premier League title in their history. Their only other Premier League title, won in 2020. It was their first division top flight title since the 1990 season under Sir Kenny Dalglish. And I don't think Liverpool can be looked past for the title. I know they're under the new manager of Arne Slot, but this Liverpool team can win trophies. I know the league's the biggest one, but they've definitely got the quality to win the league, especially with their home form that they have. You know, every season is pretty much really strong, but it's never going to be easy when you're challenging the likes of Manchester City for that title. Still with Liverpool, they're in their own half. It's on the far side here, and it's played into the Chelsea half up towards Nunez, over his head and Gusto, swept up by Badiashile, who will find Robert Sanchez in this 18-yard box, clears it left-footed down the left-hand side up towards Neto, who wins the header towards Jackson. Header away, though, by Canate, chested down by Szoboszlai, his pass backwards straight to Neto, and Jackson's on his way. Can Neto find him? Neto will go on his own instead and will shoot right-footed, and he drags it wide. Going towards that far corner, bottom left corner, couldn't quite find it there. Pedro Neto came on at half-time for Jadon Sancho, and he's still looking for his first Premier League goal for Chelsea. Assisted for them in the Premier League when he came up against his former side Wolves in that 6-2 win. Diaz there trying to get away on the left-hand side, but he's been penalised for a foul there on Malo Gusto. It was actually Caicedo he's caught. Yeah, foul for me there. Caught him. So Chelsea build out from the back. Still in their own half with the left centre-back here, Badiashile. It's now Fernandes down the left-hand side here for Neto. Will he eventually run at Alexander-Arnold? He will, and he'll nutmeg him, but then on the cover, Salah wins the ball off him. Finds Alexander-Arnold at right back in the defensive third, who can clear it forward down that channel. And it's been headed away there by Badiashile. It's a throw in for Liverpool, and they'll take their time with it here. No one really up there with Darwin Núñez. And with 15 to play, it does look like Chelsea are going to make one final change it. Christopher Nkunku, who's got 1 goal so far this season, came in that 1-0 late away win against Bournemouth. Scored plenty in the other competitions. Scored 3 in the Conference League, 1 in each game. Scored in each of the 2 legs in the qualifying, and then scored in the first league phase game against Ghent. And also scored a hat-trick in the League Cup against Barrow. As this time it's Badiashile fouling Núñez on the right wing towards the corner flag. Yeah, pushed him over. Can't do that. Foul for Liverpool. 15 to play. It's 2-1 to 2-1 to Liverpool. Chelsea still trail. So it'll be Noni Madueke to make way. And he'll be replaced by Christopher Nkunku. So I'd probably assume that Cole Palmer is going to be more used as a wider player, and Nkunku can play more centrally up there with Nicholas Jackson. So it's going to be an Alexander-Arnold ball in from this near side. Left arm raised. Ball delivered into the near post. Header won by Nkunku straight into the action off the bench. Liverpool man down in the box there. As Liverpool still got it, Robertson will put it back in towards the final third. Here, controlled in the left wing by Núñez. Plays it back here to Gravenberch. I think whoever was down in the box for Liverpool is back to their feet. Robertson, one of the final men back there for Liverpool, clears it forward. Free header for Vega for Chelsea, but straight to Szoboszlai, heads it forward himself. Headed out wide by Salah, volleyed by Vega. Chested on halfway by Konate. Flicks it to Szoboszlai, returns it to Konate. Getting a bit of a nosebleed there, going so high up the pitch there. Konate, working it to the right to Salah, and then returning to his centre-back position. Salah, 1-2 with Szoboszlai, who's away in the box here on the right-hand side. Pulls it back, can't find Diaz. Fernandes deals with it and needs to get rid. Plays it forward to the edge of the box here to Caicedo, who will drive forward with the ball, being chased down by Núñez. Still with Caicedo. Núñez trying to take him down but can't. And Caicedo fires it to the right here to Pedro Neto. Onto his left foot. Goes backwards to Gusto. What a shock. Pedro Neto playing a pass backwards. And the momentum is completely gone for Chelsea's attack. Liverpool got loads of players now behind the ball, as Chelsea have gone to the left-hand side now with the substituting Nkunku. Back into Caicedo. Then to the right to Renato Vega. It's now far side. Gusto finds Fernandes again. And Fernandes will cross it. It deflects. It's kicked away by Van Dijk. Straight to Diaz, who can get away from Neto, but runs into Vega. And that'll be a foul and a yellow card there for the Portuguese international, Renato Vega. Luis Diaz will stay down for now. Just knew that he was beat there, Renato Vega. Looks like Liverpool are going to make another change shortly. Alex McAllister who was subbed off at half-time in their last game against Crystal Palace before the international break. As Kelleher fires out to the Liverpool right, just beyond the halfway line, headed away by Vega. Drops to Alexander-Arnold, lifts it to Salah. Last touch off Vega, and that'll be a Liverpool throw-in just inside their own half on this near side. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the ball in his hands. Throws it forward towards Nunez. Being pinned in there by Badiashile, and he loses it. And it's now Caicedo to drive into the centre circle. Playing it out wide to the right. It's a short ball. One back there by Robertson, and Diaz takes over. Luis Diaz got Robertson in support. Diaz will go on his own. Still outside the box towards the byline. Gusto forcing him back, and he finds Robertson. And then back once more to keep the possession. Jones keeps it in. And it's Liverpool who are on the ball in the Chelsea half with just over 10 to play. Now Van Dijk on the halfway line, not being pressed at the moment. Goes to his left here to Andy Robertson, who's got 2 years on his contract. He's got until 2026. As Jones has been found down the left-hand side. Could be offside. No flag up at the moment. Diaz, edge of the box, gives him time to shoot, and it's right at Robert Sanchez. Comfortable save. Not happy with himself there, Luis Diaz, as Sanchez throws it out to the left, and Nkunku beats Konate to it. Doesn't get the ball. And Konate booked. Just didn't beat his teammates to the ball there. Both included in the French squad for the October international break. Yeah, and Nkunku beat him to it. And that's clearly a foul and a yellow card. Not quite sure what Konate's complaining about. Had to commit, Konate, on his 100th appearance for Liverpool, but didn't commit right. Didn't get the ball. As they change for Liverpool with 10 minutes to play, we'll see the newly made dad, Curtis Jones, come off. He got the penalty for the first goal in the first half and scored the goal in the second half. A brilliant late run into the box, and he finished it in the 6-yard box past Robert Sanchez. He's replaced by Alexis McAllister, who has never scored or lost against Chelsea. He was involved for Argentina in the international break. And Trent Alexander-Arnold is subbed off for the 6th time this season in all competitions, and he's replaced by Joe Gomez, who's only ever lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup back in 2020. So less than 10 to play. And it is Chelsea with the ball in their own half here. Set up in a back three when they're in possession, building. Sanchez now on the edge of the box, goes to the left to Badiashile. Only his 30th Premier League appearance for Badiashile, and he's been at the club now for well over a year and a half, as Vega just lifts it into space down the right-hand side. A header for Robertson, straight to Kelleher, and he'll let Palmer get close to him, and then he'll pick the ball up. It just seems like a lazy ball there from Renato Vega, just to lift that into space. It wasn't really directed to a player in blue. And Kelleher fires it out to the Liverpool left. Controlled really well by Diaz. Back into his own half to Robertson. And then plays it back down the channel for Nunez. He will chase it. Badiashile gets there first. It's now with Robert Sanchez to his left here to Colwill, who gave away the penalty in that first half. Colwill in a left-back position. Has to go back to his goalkeeper here. He's only lost once to Liverpool in his career, Robert Sanchez. That came with Brighton at home in the 21-22 season. Missed a lot of last season injured, Sanchez, from December to February, and then out from March to May. The ball forward to Gusto, can be kept in, and then he's tackled there by McAllister. Got a clean touch of the ball. Throwing for Chelsea, but maybe on the follow-through, McAllister caught Gusto. Still going to be a throw-in for Chelsea, because McAllister clearly got the ball, but that still doesn't mean he might not have, followed through and caught Malo Gusto, the French right-back. He's only ever played for the French first team, the French senior team once. That was back in October 2023. He's still part of the French under-21s, as he is aged 21. Gusto still down. A little bit worrying here for Chelsea because they've used all 5 substitutes. But on Badiashile, Renato Vega, Enzo Fernandez, Christopher Nkunku and Pedro Neto. 5 changes all made for Chelsea. Yeah, really hurt. Like that follow-through must have really caught him it. Showing a replay of the second Liverpool goal. Brilliant crossing from Salah. And then Curtis Jones takes a touch of his left foot into the 6-yard box. And how on earth the Chelsea goalkeeper has allowed him to get that shot away? The Chelsea goalkeeper should have been charging at him. Oh, it's so bad. It's such bad goalkeeping. You know, that 6-yard box, anything in that 6-yard box should be the goalkeeper's, really. But he just looks so timid and scared to go at Jones. And he just lifts it over the Spanish goalkeeper, and it's a brilliant first goal of the season for the Liverpool number 17. As Gusto's back to his feet, we're back underway. Gusto's on the pitch, I believe. Sanchez now has it in the 18-yard box. They're running out of time here, Liverpool. 6 minutes to play, plus added on time. Sanchez goes long down that Chelsea right. Neto will chase it. Robertson gets there first, sends it to the goalkeeper Kelleher. Neto keeps pressing. Kelleher goes back through to Robertson, and he finds the left back. Lifts it forward for Szoboszlai. Loads of space for him in the midfield. Goes out to his left here. And then out of play it goes, trying to find Diaz down the line. 3 away games in a row, though, coming up for Liverpool. Starting against Leipzig in the Champions League in midweek next week. Then Arsenal next weekend. And then Brighton in the League Cup as well. For Chelsea, they've got European action as well in midweek against Panathinaikos. Then their next Premier League game is at home to Newcastle, and then they're away to Newcastle in the League Cup. Jackson to Nkunku in the box. Gomez gets there and kicks it behind for a corner. Didn't quite know what to do with that there, Joe Gomez, the substitute, who's been brought on for Alexander-Arnold. Of course, you know, more of a defensive option at right back for Liverpool. Involved at the Euros, Joe Gomez, in terms of in the squad, but didn't get on the pitch. As they've gone short and they've worked it out to Gusto, crosses it into the far post there towards Colwill. Header won by Gravenberch, who can head it a second time out of play. Throwing for Chelsea on that far side, right next to the corner flag. Caicedo lifts it back out to the far side here to Neto. Can't get away from Joe Gomez, who stayed on that left-hand side. Works it to Diaz, who kicks it off Gusto and wins a throw-in. Well won there by the Colombian Luis Diaz, who's nearly bettered his goal tally for the whole last season. Luis Diaz is currently on 5. He scored 8 in the whole last season in the Premier League, scoring 5 at home and 3 of them away from Anfield. It's Canate. Finds Gravenberch midway inside his own half, lifts it into the centre circle for Szoboszlai. Can't quite take it under control. And Badiashile just about kicks it back to Sanchez. He plays it forward again, first time to Caicedo, who I think has been brilliant today for Chelsea. In that midfield is Colwill, short, a bit of a rubbish ball there by Gusto, but he makes it work. And again, Caicedo goes to the left there to Enzo Fernandez. Caicedo again. Got Nunez trying to take it off him, but he says no. Still with Caicedo. Now Gusto in the centre circle. Finds Palmer on halfway. Again, just been a little bit non-existent this afternoon. Cole Palmer, which, you know, is a credit to him, and the fact that it just seems so strange that he's been so quiet. As Nkunku can't quite meet the short ball, then takes down Joe Gomez. Free kick for Liverpool. Just do not look like scoring at all at the moment, Chelsea. Unfortunately, their tempo's too slow. And Liverpool seem to have sussed out Chelsea. And this win for Liverpool put them back on top of the table. One clearer City. Long ball forward by Liverpool. Headed one at right back for Chelsea by Gusto. It's now Neto. Goes back to Gusto. Clears it first time. It's a high ball and somehow he's not kept it on the pitch. Out of play. Throwing on the halfway line for Liverpool on that far side. And it almost just looks like Chelsea had given this to Liverpool at the moment. Yeah, Liverpool are looking to make it 2 losses in their last 20 Premier League games against Chelsea. They really do not get beat to the Blues in recent times. It's now with Kelleher in the 18-yard box being closed down by Palmer. Can clear it on the penalty spot. It's a deep one. It'll be given chase to by Salah. Headed by Vega, but straight to Szoboszlai. who's got the runner Gomez getting forward from right back. And here is Joe Gomez. Not exactly wanting to go any further forward. Szoboszlai now back to the halfway line to Canate. And then across to Virgil van Dijk, who's making his 280th Liverpool appearance tonight. The centre-half, 6'5" giant. And his only goal against Chelsea was that winner in the League Cup final at Wembley, as his diagonal ball to Salah. Headed out by Vega. And it's going to be a throw-in for Liverpool. Got just over a minute left of the 90, and then we'll find out how much added on time we'll get here at Anfield. A little bit of pushing and shoving there. Salah, Nunez and Vega all involved. Referee now gets involved. Chelsea don't need this. They need the game to be getting underway here. Thrown towards Salah. Header won by Vega. Header again by Badiashile this time. Kicked into the air by Enzo Fernandez. Where it's a header forward by McAllister. Chested down by Diaz to Szoboszlai. 25 yards out. He's given time to shoot, but his touch is heavy. Tackled by Fernandez. Cleared for Chelsea up towards Jackson. Header won by Van Dijk. Gravenberch pulled down by Caicedo. Right in front of the centre circle. And that'll be a free kick for Liverpool. Well won there by Ryan Gravenberch, who was also in the Dutch squad for the Euros, but didn't play a single minute, as we've got 7 minutes added on here at Anfield. Arne Slot shaking his head. He cannot believe there's been 7 minutes added on. Won 2 honours as a manager at Feyenoord. Won the Eredivisie title 2 seasons ago. Won the Dutch Cup last season. He's a winner. And that's what Liverpool will want him to do here. See through these 3 points. Free kick, very central on the pitch, so not much of an angle for a cross, but they will just try and deliver it in. It's with Szoboszlai to Van Dijk, who heads it to the edge of the box, cleared by Palmer to keep it away from Diaz. Gravenberch goes up for the header. Won by McAllister. And now back through for Gravenberch, who slots it through for Nunez in the box. And it will be seen behind by Badiashile for a goal kick. Can Chelsea create one more chance? One more opportunity? Because they haven't done so for quite some time now. Caicedo. Vega. Going into space for Nkunku, cut out by Joe Gomez. The clearance isn't convincing. Enzo Fernandez beats Szoboszlai to it. Fernandez to his right now to Palmer. Things are opening up for Chelsea. Palmer brought down by McAllister on the right wing. That will be a free kick. And a yellow card for the Argentine. Yeah, certainly a foul and probably a yellow card. Absolutely no intent at all to get the ball. Again, a bit too far wide for a shot. The angle's a bit too tight, but for a cross, this could seriously work in Chelsea's favour here. It'll be Cole Palmer from the right wing with his left boot. Can he get the cross right? In it goes. It's a teasing one, and Vega wins the header. And he sends it over the crossbar. Just outside the 6-yard box. Renato Vega should be doing so much better with that. I want to say that just hit the top of his head, yeah. Didn't get his forehead to it. Hit the top of his head and over the crossbar. Really frustrated with himself there, Renato Vega. And after 2.5 minutes of the 7 added on played, it's still 2-1 to Liverpool. Long goal kick from Kelleher. Convincing header won by Colwill. Headed back away by Gomez, straight to Caicedo. Can't quite get it under control. Flicked away by Nunez. Gravenberch and Fernandez battling. Eventually drops to Salah. Lifts it over the top for Nunez. Badiashile nods it down. And it drops to Colwill, who's panicking with the ball, but he can play it forward to Fernandez. Then into Jackson halfway, who turns away from Canate. Brilliant from Jackson. Space out wide left here for Vega. Bit isolated on the left wing here, Vega, and he's tackled by Gomez, thrown for Chelsea. The Liverpool crowd like that tackle. They really like that tackle. Because things were starting to open up there for Chelsea. After some good, strong, committed work there by Nicholas Jackson. Palmer now quite deep on the ball. Everyone behind the ball for Liverpool as Chelsea going to try their right flank. It's Neto who's had not much of an impact in this second half since coming on, but he'll swing this ball into the box and all the way through towards Nkunku, who can't quite divert it into the goal. The further that ball was travelling, the tighter the angle got for Nkunku, and he just couldn't quite reach it and work Kelleher. It's a really inviting ball by Neto, and Nkunku isn't far away, launching himself into the advertisement hoarding behind the goals. He tried his very best to work that on target. And with less than 3 minutes of added on time to play, it's still 2-1 to Liverpool. Long goal kick again, controlled by Caicedo, but it's a sloppy touch. Won back though by Fernandes, but Palmer's touch is also heavy, and Van Dijk gets it out to the left wing. Diaz across to Salah, edge of the area. Tries to play it back through for Diaz in the box. He's going to go for the back heel, which deflects off Badiashile. And it's an offside flag, no corner. Thought so. I think Diaz was offside as Salah played the ball. And Chelsea can have it again from their own 18-yard box. Will we get more late drama on this Super Sunday? We saw a 95th minute winner for Manchester City against Wolves. We're going to have to get later drama today. As Gomez intercepts a ball through towards Fernandes, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. Now played out to the left wing here to Diaz. To Robertson, then spins Gusto and gets the return ball. Brilliant football. Diaz slowing the game down in the final third, waiting for some more support. Goes into McAllister, then back out wide for Robertson, who wants to cross. Doesn't. Goes short again to Diaz, who'll run it. Gusto onto his right foot here. Can he get a shot away? Luis Diaz! It's just wide over the top right corner. Again, frustrated with himself there, the Colombian Luis Diaz. I just don't think, just couldn't quite get his foot around the ball. Always firing away from goal. A minute to go. Chelsea simply not done enough in the second half to warrant a point. Really well even battle in the first half, but Chelsea have just tried to be too technical in the second half, and they are paying the price as Badiashile's header works its way to Sanchez, and they need to get a move on here. Gusto goes to Palmer, just inside the Liverpool half. He's been dispossessed by McAllister, then plays it through down the left for Diaz. Could this be the nail in the coffin? Goes to his right to Nunez, but he can't reach the Uruguayan, who then shrugs off Vega illegally. That's not a foul. Darwin Nunez can't believe it. Arne Slot cannot believe it. And could Chelsea have one more chance? That definitely wasn't a foul. Just stronger than Nunez. And if they score here now, Chelsea, there could be fireworks on the sideline. And Nkunku on the left wing. This will be the last opportunity. Neto found. And he gets a crossing. Can't be cleared by Van Dijk, and the Gusto shot is blocked. Still alive for Chelsea on the right wing as Diaz goes in. And that will be that. Arne Slot, I think he's going to march right over to the referee because he wants words about that foul given against Darwin Nunez. But there was a late chance there for Chelsea. The cross in the box from Neto, not dealt with by Van Dijk. And Gusto was able to shoot, but it was well blocked by Robertson. And that was the last action of the game. On the whole, I think Liverpool deserve that. Just looked more convincing in their way of playing. Chelsea just looked a little bit lost in that second half, which was strange because they looked quite assured in the first half. But it is Liverpool who get themselves back on top of the Premier League table. They climb above Manchester City by a point. Manchester City on 20 points. Liverpool on 21. 7 wins from 8. To start Arne Slot's Liverpool Premier League career as manager. But the man he's got to thank today is Curtis Jones. What an unbelievable performance from the 23-year-old. Won the penalty in the first half, which gave Liverpool the lead. After half an hour, Mohamed Salah putting that penalty into the back of the net. They almost had a second penalty right on the stroke of half-time. It was Jones going through towards goal. And he was took down by Sanchez, but on replay it did show that Sanchez won the ball first. And the penalty was overturned. And it was 1-0 at half-time. And a quick response from Chelsea in the second half, 48th minute. Nicholas Jackson scored again. He was played through by Caicedo, who I thought was Chelsea's best player. I thought Caicedo was absolutely magnificent. Played it through for Jackson in the box, slotted it home, bottom right corner. At first, it was disallowed for offside, but after a VAR check, it was Canate who played him on, and the goal stood. But Chelsea were not level for long. Liverpool responding almost automatically. It's just what they know to do. If they concede, they want to try and get the next goal as soon as possible. They did just that 3 minutes later, 51st minute, Curtis Jones making a late run into the box, found by Mo Salah. And Jones had a touch into the 6-yard box and then finished it ahead of Sanchez, who came off his line too late. And that was that for the goals. More shots from Chelsea, less on target, but they had more possession. But in that second half, not ruthless enough, not making enough clear-cut chances. And I think in the end, really, it's a Liverpool win. That's deserved, just exploiting the lack of dangerous attacks from Chelsea. Just looked sluggish. You know, at the end of the day, I'm all for having a style of play. But when you realise that you are losing a game with not long left, you've kind of got to speed things up. And they weren't doing that. It's almost like they slowed down. You know, first half was a bit quicker. They were really getting out to the wingers who were running at full backs. Not like they were doing much, but they were getting the wingers into the game. But second half, it all just slowed down too much. And I think Chelsea can only have themselves to blame there. We know Liverpool don't like to slow things down. Liverpool are quick, it's fiery, and it's quick attacking. And they got that goal straight after conceding, and they held on to the lead, and they've got the 3 points, and they're top of the Premier League table once again. Leapfrogging Manchester City, you leapfrogged them a couple of hours ago. Great commentary, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone who watched today's live stream. Again, I don't know when my next commentary is because I've got a really busy week next week, but hopefully the week after we will be back with a live commentary. I don't know if it'll be one, I don't know if it'll be two, but we'll definitely be back, not next week, but the week after. But before I go as well, make sure we spoke about it at half-time, so if you want to hear more about it, go to the half-time segment on the live stream and you can hear me talk about it. If not, click the link in the description to Zoe's Place Just Giving. It's a baby hospice in Liverpool that is currently on the verge of being shut down, as there is no funds for them to build a new building for the baby hospice. They are trying to raise £5 million by the 9th of November, and they have currently already raised, just in a couple of weeks, they have raised £2 million. It's an amazing amount they've raised, but it is only 30% of what they need. If you can spare some money and donate, go to the link in the description and go donate to Zoe's Place in Liverpool, their baby hospice that is in need of donations. They are close to shutting down. It is part of the heartbeat of Liverpool, and they need our help. So let's try and donate some money and try and help Zoe's Place in Liverpool, their baby hospice, stay in Liverpool, get them that money to build themselves a new building, a new place where they can give life-saving treatment to the kids and the babies in Liverpool. But here at Liverpool, at Anfield, it's a Liverpool victory. They go back to the top of the table. They took the lead from the penalty spot from the former Chelsea man, Mohamed Salah, top right corner, buried the penalty, but Chelsea responded at the start of the second half. Nicholas Jackson slotting the ball home from a Moises Caicedo pass. But literally 3 minutes later, Liverpool were back ahead. Curtis Jones getting on the end of a Mo Salah cross, capped off his man of the match performance, and Liverpool were able to see through the 3 points as here at Anfield on this Super Sunday. It finishes Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1.